Hello, everybody. Welcome to the AVGL Rocket League culmination of the last 7 weeks of Swiss that we've watched. This is the two-day grand final event that we will be putting on for you guys. I'm Junior P-Cube. I'm joined alongside Twiggy, who's going to be my co-caster. Twiggy, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing great today. How are you doing, Junior? I'm really looking forward to this.
It's going to be a good one. Going to be some fun matches. Going to have a good time. We've got our first matchup, which is starting off right now. We've got the University of Delaware versus the University of Michigan. It's going to be Grau, Vixa, and Rain versus Claven, Buddha, and Flamadid on the side of University of Michigan. Delaware was Grau, Vixa, and Rain. Both these teams are 5-2 in the Swiss stage in terms of games. They're 17-10. University of Delaware 17-10, and University of Michigan they're 16-10. So these teams incredibly evenly locked. They're seeded both 16th and 17th in the first round of this matchup. We've got an incredibly close one right here. Who do you think is going to take this one?
Honestly, coming into this one, I am completely unaware of the experience of both teams, but I think it's going to be a great little matchup. Both teams obviously coming into this one. It's one of the lower levels of Rocket League, but obviously collegiate Rocket League can be incredibly competitive sometimes, and love to see the kind of gameplay that we see in these ones. So definitely interested to see who's going to win this one.
Yeah, this is some of the best collegiate action that we can ask for. Again, like I said earlier, all of these teams have gone through 7 weeks of the Swiss-style tournament to seed themselves, and the top 32 of them have made it to this final double elimination bracket run, and Delaware and Michigan, again, are going to be our first matchup. I think it's going to be a fun one. I've watched a little bit of both of these teams played. I've seen Claven play a little bit for Parabellum in the RLCS, or the lower tier of RLCS. But it's going to be a fun one. I mean, once you get up to this level, all of the teams really can play around generally the same level. It really comes down to confidence, who wants it more, and just general consistency, especially since through these 7 weeks we've seen the Swiss. And now it's the double elimination bracket, 2 lives left in this tournament to see who can take home the $1,200 grand prize at the end of it.
Yep, and I think before we jump into the game, we just want to shout out Esport Certified, gaming gear destination exclusively for college, not Rocket League, college and university students. Discover today's premier esports gear from Razer, SteelSeries, HyperX, and more, all at epic savings. Visit today at www.esportcertified.com.
Shout out to Esports Certified being the sponsor for this event. They're definitely helping us out in that regard. It looks like we're almost ready to get Delaware and Michigan underway. Do you have any sort of prediction before we hop into the lobby? Who do you think is going to win this, or just looking at the statistics, I guess a coin flip of who do you think is going to win? I know you said that you don't really know these teams all that well.
Let's see. I have a friend from Michigan, so I'm going to go with University of Michigan from this one. That's completely blind. That's a coin flip. I don't know either team. So I'm just going to go with the Michigan because my friend is from there. Maybe he knows the team. So who knows? Maybe he's here today watching.
Yeah, hopefully for the friend of Twiggy in Michigan, that Michigan wins. But also Delaware looking to put on a show as well, looking to take down Twiggy's position. I think that if you're going to have a coin flip prediction and predict Michigan, I feel like I have to go for the opposite. I think Delaware is coming out. I mean, they're seated just a little bit higher. They have played a few more games, but in terms of statistics, it's so incredibly close that, quite frankly, we don't know who's going to win this series until it comes down to the wire, until we hop into the best-of-5 series, which it looks like we're getting ready to do in just a few seconds.
Yeah, it's going to be an incredibly close game, and obviously in this kind of, as you get into the higher levels of Rocket League, it's all about, you know, these different plays like the bumps, the demos, and the boost stealing that gets really important, you know. At this point, it's not just your mechanical skill, it's your planning and the effort that goes into how you're going to win this game.
Looks like we're kicking off right now. Kindle keeping this touch towards the top of the box, just keeping it on this left-hand side, trying to break his team out early as Delaware find themselves on defense to start off this game number 1. Claven to take a shot. Buddha can't get up to it. Grau to clear it. Gets it into the corner. Keeps everything moving well, moving swimmingly. But 20 seconds into this game, Michigan starting off with some early possession down in the Delaware half.
Yeah, a very good pressure game there from Michigan. They keep it up. Flamadiddle's not going to let that go towards his backboard there. They're going to keep it all the way forward. Delaware with a breakaway into the corner as it gets cleared away by Claven again.
Now taking up possession, just trying to turn the tide a little bit. Delaware found themselves on defense for a large majority of that first minute of gameplay, but now they're trying to move forward. They're trying to flip the page and move on, and so far we're seeing a lot more possession trending in the favor of Delaware. That is, until Flamadiddle can break them out, keep this down in the blue half. The ball is kind of ping-ponging around a little bit as no one has really taken control of this game, the ball, or the series so far. And well, as we continue to tick down, these opportunities will start to present themselves. Nixon can't put it past Claven. Another early opportunity for Delaware as that one again goes unconverted.
Yeah, I think both teams kind of feeling each other out, maybe shaking off the rust and the cold. You know, obviously you need to warm up into a game, so in they go. And yeah, Michigan trying to make another attack happen here, but Delaware's keeping that pressure on them. They're just keeping it forward onto the Michigan backboard. They're going to pass it off into the middle where it's going to be picked up by Vixer, but it's going to be cleared away by Flamadiddle. Very, very heavy attacking side here from Delaware.
Yeah, right now Delaware is trying to move all of their pieces up, but unfortunately none of those pieces are connecting. It just seems like incohesive movements right now until they can find that crucial goal or that crucial passing play that can put them on top, because right now we've crossed 2 minutes of gameplay so far and no one's scored a goal yet. And well, you can't win a game if you don't score a goal, or at least find some avenues of success. But Claven's looking to do that all himself. Air dribble over the top, puts it in the back of the net. University of Michigan open up the scoring.
Brilliant play there from Claven, just taking it past one, and Growl kind of left as the last defender, goes up to it to try and contest that one, but gets beaten by it. And as you're the last defender, that's kind of that's the last thing you want to happen. It gets taken over him and straight into the goal, completely uncontested there.
Yeah, it's certainly a shot to the confidence of Delaware. I mean, they were moving their men downfield. They were getting opportunities down on their opponent's net. They just weren't able to convert on any of them. Flamadiddle's looking for a second, but he's not able to find that one either. We're crossing halftime right here with University of Michigan having the advantage right now, but so far all of the success has been found in the University of Michigan camp. They're trying a pass play now. Claven down to Flamadiddle, but Boost ran out before the opportunity could manifest itself. But more opportunities. It seems like Delaware just can't get a break right now. The demo will finally buy them some time and gives them some space to work with, but it just seems like Michigan right now are just unrelenting.
Yeah, they've opened those floodgates with that first goal, and now they're just pushing on the pressure, keeping everything on Delaware. Delaware feeling that, and Flamadiddle just takes control in the middle. You can see that they're backing off to try and absorb that pressure a little more. They're definitely a little more cautious of their opponents now.
Budo looking for another shot, maybe to make this lead a little bit more comfortable, but the opportunity is not found. Vixen finds a booming clearance down into the Michigan half. It's going to be a pinch pass by Grau that flies more up than out towards the midfield. Claven can bail them out of pressure for the time being. Flamadiddle will take the ball, just trying to get something going. These demos are opening up so much space, and now the bump onto Grau leaves the net completely open. Don't find the shot off that. Budo was in an awkward spot. Last man back, no man's land, you might say. No opportunities converted just yet, but if the score stands, University of Michigan, I mean, while the lead might not be as strong as they would like, they definitely have the advantage. If the score holds, they will be winning this. I say that as Grau buries it in the top right corner to equalize the scoring.
It's got to feel good for University of Delaware. They have been putting on the pressure the whole game and not finding the back of the net in any of those attacks. I think they've had about 3 or 4 shots on target now, and that's the first one that's gone in, so that's going to relieve a lot of pressure from them, and that's going to help them probably carry on that momentum, hopefully.
60 seconds left, and suddenly it's Michigan fighting from a little bit lower down on the hill. I mean, they had the advantage to start off this game, but now it's been taken away from them by University of Delaware. So what are they going to do about it? Well, Flamadiddle is looking to change that. He's got the dribble play, puts it up to Kendall. Shot comes in by Budo. It's off the post, but doesn't find the inside of the uprights. Claven comes in, and it's pandemonium on the goal line as not another goal is found, and we remain here despite the chaos with an equal scoreline.
Well, that's got to hurt, but the pressure stays up, and Flamadiddle's going to have to clear that one on the goal line pretty much. Now, the pressure's staying up now from Delaware, but Michigan is going to try and clear that away, putting it off into the sidewall. Flamadiddle has to defend this one. Claven trying to get out there with no boost. And Grau's going to put it back into the middle towards Kendall, who gets saved by Claven. Michigan going to try and stage this counter-attack now here.
9 seconds left. Expiring time right now in game number 1. Looking like we are headed to overtime. Buddha can't find the touch there, so it looks like Delaware will find one final opportunity. He'll hit the ground. We head into overtime in game number 1, where these teams appear to just be as deadlocked as their seeding suggests.
It's so close so far. Only a few attacks from both teams, and only one has gone in from each of them. Grau's going to clear that one away, and it's straight into the Michigan back line there. Claven's going to try and get rid of it, but the 50-50 comes off for Kendall. Buddha's going to have to try and clear that one again. So much going on in this corner here. Gets it through, but nothing's going to come of that one.
Yeah, this possession remains right now for Delaware, as they haven't let Michigan break out this overtime so far. But finally, Michigan gets a breath of fresh air that seems like it's going the other way. That is until possession can be regained by Michigan, keeping it down here in the blue half, making it awkward and stealing as much boost as possible, trying to draw out as many opportunities for Delaware as possible to prevent the options moving forward. Flamadiddle is going to take a touch downfield, but there's no one home, no one to intercept, rather to get on the other end of that pass. It feels like right now Michigan are finding their way out of their half, but they're just not connecting on any of the regards that will grant them any sort of success. Now Claven finds himself with a dribble. He's got full boost, but his options are limited due to Kendall. He's trying to flip the script. He's trying create some space, but none of it's happening right now. We find ourselves still with no victor in overtime, a minute 15 in.
Yeah, both teams are playing so defensively and trying just to stop these shots from coming through, and that means the pressure is on for both teams as they just try and clear everything. Vixer putting it back into the sidewall, and you see Flamadiddle just going onto that one, and then Buddha clearing that one away. Kendall going to pick it up. It's just back and forth in the middle of the pitch here. They each try and just break through each other's defenses.
Yeah, it looks like they're still feeling each other out, but that demo is going to be aggressive from Claven. Pass is going to fly towards the top of the box. Buddha can't get on the end of it. Can Claven score? No, he can't. The possession will be kept. The touch backwards should alleviate some of the counterattack opportunities. None manifest themselves so far. Coming towards the backboard once again. Buddha's touch. He runs out of boost before he can find the pass out center, but this possession remains. Claven's up for it, but Grau and Vix a double commit. This could open up a lot of space for Michigan right now if they can capitalize, but the problem isn't the opportunity. The problem is the lack of boost, and now Buddha finds himself in a 1v1 trying to make sure this pass doesn't come across. The demolitioner coming out of Claven right now. 5 demos found right now as this playstyle continues to get more and more aggressive and continue to heat up for Michigan.
Both teams are really turning up the pressure now and trying to make more attacking plays happen. Maybe they're tired of being in this deadlock for 2.5 minutes now, and as Vix is going to clear that one safely away, Grau's going to try and get on the end of it. Actually puts it into the corner. Vix is going to go for the demo. Kendall trying to put it into the middle. Gets it through 1 and 2. It's almost dead in the middle, but nobody can find the shot on the end of it, so it's going to be cleared away by Michigan. Claven going to put it onto the backboard. Nobody's going to be found on that one. Kendall's going to clear it away off that.
Yeah, another shot rains in. Vixa keeps it away. He finds the Savior medal 3 minutes into overtime, and he'll start up some possession in his corner, at least try to, before it's immediately taken down by Claven. Right now, it just feels like somebody's going to score soon, and Flamadiddle is going to be the one to increase the score count and give, well, Michigan a Game 1 victory.
Yeah, it's so difficult sometimes to get those balls off of the curved edge of the wall there, and Grau just tries to clear that one away, but he finds himself flipping in the middle of the egg just above the ball, and unfortunate as Flamadiddle is just able to take it past and tap it into the back of the net. So good from Michigan to take that first game. Definitely a difficult game for both teams, so impressive from them to break the deadlock and finish that one off.
Yeah, at least in terms of game number 1s, it was pretty standard for the first 5 minutes. I mean, both teams were feeling each other out, trying to figure out each other's play styles, but at the end of the day, Michigan comes out with a bit of a lucky opportunity that they convert. It's all about converting those unforced errors, and while the University of Michigan come out on top in game number 1, we'll look to see if they can keep up that pace and that pressure that we saw in those last 15 seconds of overtime. But right now, Michigan have the advantage of the series, and they're 2 away from continuing on in this bracket in the upper side.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, that's going to be pretty painful for Delaware there, as for the first like half of the of regular time there, for the first 2.5-3 minutes, they were keeping the pressure on, and they were actually doing really well. That first goal against them was very unfortunate for them, but they were actually doing so well to just keep up pressure and stop Michigan from going anywhere. But then as the grip loosened in overtime, you know, going on for a game that long without any pauses can be very tough on a team to keep up the pressure that they were keeping on earlier in the game. So just breaking through the defenses, and one error is all it takes really to close out that match.
Yeah, it came down to one mistake towards the very end of the game that sealed the fate for Delaware in game number 1. But now the clock's reset, and so has the score, and the opportunities are coming back. First 10 seconds, we already see some possession for the University of Michigan. Just working the ball down the field. Buddha's going to take a shot, but he doesn't find it. It's stopped by Vixa right on the goal line. It's still floating right above the blue net right now as, well, Delaware struggle to break out of their own half as Buddha continues to apply this pressure with no sense of remorse, not wanting to let up whatsoever. They're looking to continue on with game number 2 with the same sorts of momentum that we saw in game number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. You saw a little interesting play there coming out from Claven as he immediately went for the bump off of passing it into the middle. Nobody was there to finish off the goal, but the attacking plays are definitely coming out already, and it's indicative of the kind of play style that we saw from Michigan towards the end of that last game. As Delaware trying just kind of break this deadlock and push it through. Delaware's not going to let that happen this time, maybe not wanting the same result to happen with that first goal opening from Michigan last game.
Yeah, we're seeing both of these teams step up more as a unit now in this first minute of game number 2, and it's to much success seeing opportunities for both Delaware and Michigan down the field. But right now the score still remains 0-0. No one's capitalized just yet, but it is, I guess, encouraging to see the bump plays coming out. Buddha nets the first one for Michigan.
Yeah, I thought that was just going to be a passing play there from Buddha as he puts it down with low power, but in flies Claven there to get the bump on the goalkeeper and just completely wipe him out. Absolutely no shot of saving that one. That's going to go straight in. Brilliant play from Michigan.
Michigan start off with forcing an error out of Delaware, making sure the bump, it's so hard to defend whenever it's an aerial bump in that manner. In the first 90 seconds, Michigan, they find themselves that advantage, and they're certainly feeling good, but if you're Delaware, that's got to be a shot to the heart. I mean, that's the worst way to get scored on, is getting bumped out of the way of potentially making the save, but they still have time to go. There's still plenty of time for Delaware to break back into this game and work forward and maybe equalize like we saw in game number 1. Kendall's challenge right towards the top of the attacking third means that possession can begin for Delaware, that is, until they almost all of them get demolished off the field and their space. Whatever they had gained is completely lost. Flame Middle's clear is a whiff by Kendall. As they struggle to break the ball out, Delaware is seemingly absolutely shocked by that last goal, and we haven't seen them bounce back just yet.
No, not yet. Delaware are trying to get things happening, but all they're doing right now is just keeping it out of their half. You know, these long clears that Michigan are easily able to pick up and turn into passing plays, and Grau's going to have to do that one again. It bounces awkwardly off of the corner there, but he's going to be able to clear that quite easily. Pushes it forward, the 50-50 comes out. Favorable for Vic, so tries to get the double touch, but it's a little weak, and Flamadill's going to be able to touch that one away. It's cleared away eventually.
Grau taking it up, trying to continue this momentum that they've got. They forced out the double commit on the goal line, which can eventually domino effect into a goal, but they're not able to capitalize on that opportunity. They end up giving away whatever control they had. It's a touch off the crossbar, but Vixa, his rotation immaculate, manages to get off the crossbar, get the save that's needed. But the possession, the onslaught, not stopped just yet. Flamadil takes the shot and buries it in the bottom corner. 2-0 for Michigan here, 2 minutes left.
Flamadil was already ready for that one, jumps up immediately, and Kendall's just not there in time. Obviously, both players going up for it at pretty much the same time, but Flamadil's just got that height, and the quick aerial just touches it straight down with a lot of power, and that's a great goal.
Claven looking to make it a third right now, going for the ceiling shot, looking for something, but no, doesn't have the right takeoff to be able to get up for that. Grau is in an awkward position. Buddha looks for the dunk, but none found. Possession alleviated right now for Delaware as they're trying to find their first here in this game to at least start the comeback moving forward. And right now, they haven't found the goal. You can't come back if you don't score. But they're definitely looking a little bit more hopeful. It looks a little bit more confident after that second goal was seemingly a bucket of ice water to the sleeping University of Delaware. Maybe they can bring it back. Maybe they can get something going. Flamadiddle is going to put them back to sleep, though. 3-0 Michigan running away here in game number 2.
Yeah, losing possession quickly there on the side wall, and it's just it's a classic little infield pass off of the back wall. So quick, and there's so little you can do about that when the shot comes out so quickly and there's just no time to react.
And the kickoff also going in favor of Michigan. It looks like a little bit of an unforced error out of Delaware. So far, not the best scoreline, but I think if you're Delaware moving forward, I think that you might have to recognize that this game, while there is still time to come back with the way that Michigan are playing right now, it's certainly not seeming likely. So how do you make changes moving forward? I think the first thing is giving away possession in their half. It's something that we've seen a couple times where just they've given away possession and then 1-2 touches maybe, and then they just immediately get scored on. It's why we find ourselves at this 3-0 scoreline. For Michigan, they're not making us ask a lot of questions, but Delaware certainly is, and it's going to be a matter of how they answer them and how quickly they can move forward, fix some of the mistakes that they've been making that determines the outcome of this series.
Yeah, it's mostly really just a game of mistakes right now. Michigan have made so little mistakes, and Delaware have just, although they haven't made a lot of mistakes, it's just been these tiny little things that have given Michigan the upper hand, and Delaware almost getting that shot off, but nobody's going to find it in the end as Kendall tries to put it back in, but everybody's kind of ready for this, being able to clear it away very slightly. Vixen puts it back forward, tries to get the little touch over, but Flamer ready for that shot, clears it away nicely, and Michigan just trying to keep up this pressure that they put on earlier, and that's just a little pass off the backboard, and Buddha's going to finish that one off, nail in the coffin, that fourth goal with 8 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, all chances of coming back absolutely shot after that fourth goal from Buddha. It's not even that near, like, mechanically impressive of a shot, but it's a fourth goal, and it's certainly going to boost the confidence of Michigan. We talked about the questions that need to be answered for Delaware. They haven't found a goal in game number 2, but also we got to talk about the University of Michigan, who has played nearly a flawless game, like you've been talking about, how it's a game of errors, and Michigan is making fewer of them right now. Michigan esports are looking primed to go into a sweep territory right now. Rather, they are in sweep territory, and they're looking to take this series in 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Michigan have just played a almost flawless game. They've only conceded 1 goal so far compared to the 6 conceded by Delaware, and it's not like Delaware have been making any big mistakes. They haven't done anything terribly wrong. It's just these tiny little things that do add up, especially when you're in control in your corner. You have to get it away as quickly as you can, and if you miss that touch or you lose that 50, you can so easily just give away control that you need. When you're defending a ball, you really need to make sure you're not making those tiny mistakes to give away possession.
It all comes down at the end of the day to unforced errors, which is just a longer way of saying mistakes. And right now, like you said, Delaware making more mistakes in terms of keeping that control in their back line, making sure that they're not giving away free opportunities willy-nilly. Right now, University of Michigan, they are on fire, and that's shown through the 4 goals scored in game number 2. But as we hop into game number 3, I mean, Delaware, if they're going to get started, they're all out of options right now. It's looking like that if Michigan can keep up this pressure, keep up this pace, it's going to be a 3-0 sweep. But Delaware certainly don't want to go out in just 3 short games of Rocket League.
Yeah, this little break between games may be a little opportunity to break up the momentum that Michigan have really piled on. They've scored 5 goals in a row now over 2 games. And they've just got that, we saw there were so many, they were going for ceiling shots at the back of that game. You can see they're already going for them at the start of this game, and they're really feeling themselves coming into this one. They know they've won these 2 games. They just want to finish this last one off now.
Yeah, passing play down to Buddha. That one doesn't find the inside of the uprights so far, but we're seeing Delaware step up. They're going to find an early goal off the back of a wing side pass play. 30 seconds in, and Delaware already striking back.
Yeah, that's more like what you want there from Delaware. Michigan may be underestimating them coming into this one because that was a bit of a double commit coming forward there, and there was nobody to defend that one. Just a brilliant pass off of their own backboard straight into the attacking arms there to get that first goal.
So looking for a ceiling shot again. It just looks like all of the confidence has come back in spades right now for the University of Delaware as they're going for these aerial challenges down in the Michigan half, and right now they're playing incredibly strong. It's another infield pass. The shot almost finds it. Grau can't put it in. Would have been the highlight of the day so far. But 45 seconds in, it just seems like Delaware is playing with newfound confidence, newfound speed that we haven't seen before. As another touch off the crossbar as Delaware scramble a little bit more, but they come out unscathed by the end of it. First minute of the game, a complete difference to what we saw out of Delaware in the first 2 games.
And both teams have really abandoned their defensive plays, opting instead just to go for these goals now. And you can see both teams are absolutely just sending men towards the ball to try and get these quick goals. And That's opened up the goal lines for all of these shots that have already come through in the first minute and a half now. But as Delaware try and clear this one away, it's just going to find Michigan's... although that awkward bounce is going to force Flamadil to have a little aerial, try and get it over somebody, but Grau's going to put it back in the middle. Nobody's there to clear that one away.
Flamadil looking to equalize the scoreline, looking for an ambitious double tap, but it's not found. The simpler shot by Buddha almost finds its way into the back of the net, but no, saved by Vixa, who is playing so far a pretty strong game right now, finding a goal, just putting on their first save, and well, the continuing of this pressure is Michigan as they're trying to equalize this scoreline. It's incredibly awkward. Buddha's got an open net to shoot at as Grau can't jump up in time, and the scoreline equalizes. Michigan begin to wake back up.
Grau, a deer in the headlights, left over there in the goal line, just falling down and trying to get back into position for the shot. Almost gets in front of that one, actually, but too far back in the goal from that, it's hard to recover from that kind of thing. And yeah, just a good continued pressure there from Michigan to get that first goal back for themselves.
Yeah, the continued pressure just burns out all of the boost of the University of Delaware's side. But right now they find themselves on a little bit of defense for just a little bit of time as well. Kendall, he's able to regain possession and not let Michigan break out of their own half. It's bouncing down, but Buddha's going to touch that one away easily. It's floating back in. Grau hits it on the other end of the passing play. 2-1 as they retake the advantage.
Maybe we cursed Michigan by talking about how they weren't making any mistakes there. A little double commit again is just opened up their own goal line, and I'm not sure exactly where Claven was. Probably going for boost, having both of the back boosts stolen away from them. So great play from Delaware to keep that pressure up again, and Michigan making tiny mistakes now, opening up the possibility of Delaware coming back on this one.
Yeah, we haven't even crossed halftime yet, but it just seems like Delaware right now are... It's almost like Freaky Friday. They've switched spots right now. Michigan now making the lion's share of the mistakes, and Delaware so far is playing a much more consistent, much stronger game plan right now, and it's really paying off at the end of it. Grau's going to take another shot that's saved away by Buddha. He finds the Savior medal with 2 minutes left to go in this. As Flamadito is looking to change the odds just a little bit. It looks like he's recovering a bit awkwardly as he doesn't find the touch, and Kendall ends up finding possession at the end of it. 2 minutes left to go right now, and we're seeing a completely different game plan and velocity out of Delaware that we haven't seen in the last 2 games or so.
Yeah, definitely. You saw that little bump there. They're definitely going for these more aggressive plays, trying to knock off Michigan, trying to just kind of keep them from getting the ball there. But as Michigan tries to clear this ball away, it's going to go into the corner. Grau's going to take it away. Can't get it past Flamadil. Put it back down, and Claven's going to keep up the pressure again. Michigan looking to get this goal back, but Grau's going to take it on. And a 1v1 gets it past one, but it's going to go straight into the corner. Not well controlled. It's going to be cleared away by Flamadil.
Yeah, Claven getting that back corner boost as well completely annihilates the offensive pressure that was being created by Delaware. They're allowed to break out, and that's not something you want to do against a team as potent as Michigan, who continue this possession downfield. Flamadiddle gets stuffed right at midfield. Kendall just doing every 50-50 he possibly can, trying to make them 60-40s. Vixie tries to take the shot, but no, 60 seconds remain, and right now Delaware is looking to put up their first game on the board. Kendall keeps it off the backboard. It's another shot coming in, but at the angle just a little bit too obtuse, flies outside of the uprights, and now 50 seconds left. Here come Michigan looking to equalize right now because they find themselves on a 2-0 series scoreline, and well, their chances of taking the series in a full sweep are on the line, but maybe they just want to sit back a little bit, play into game number 4, and move on. But certainly, with the opportunities that they're getting, they don't want to do that, and Flamadiddle equalizes with 30 seconds.
Yeah, beautiful control up there from Claven. Looking like he's going to go for the second touch, but actually bumps Grau out the way, down into the ground, falling on him, maybe on purpose, maybe not, who knows. Flamadiddle picks up that ball and just slams it into the back of the net off of the unaware defense.
30 seconds left, and it's looking like we're headed to an overtime like we saw in game number 1. That is, unless Buddha has anything to say about that. His shot will not find the back of the net, but now it's awkward for Delaware as they're kind of scrambling right now with their rotations as they're not able to break out of their own half. Boost is obviously scarce, and right now, well, Michigan, they're looking to take this series in 3, and they're looking to speed up their play in these last 9 seconds or so of game. But Flamadiddle, no boost to work with, very limited options because of that. Claven's going to have one final pass into the midfield, but Grau and Kendall double commit. Vixa takes a long touch downfield. Surely Buddha just spikes it, but no! It's a 0-second goal, and Delaware takes it at the buzzer.
looking like a sure clear there as he followed the ball there, Buddha, and just goes a little bit over it. Maybe just misjudging the angle of the ball and just kind of floats over it, and it's just going to slowly, almost in slow motion there for Michigan, the ball goes into their own goal. And Delaware's going to take that game off of just a slight defensive mistake that misses the ball by a couple inches there.
Yeah, if we're talking just confidence boosting and momentum building, that's the best possible thing that you can see. Vixa takes a long shot just on a whim, and it ends up finding the back of the net. 3-2, Delaware put themselves on the board, and for Michigan, that one's got to sting a little bit.
Yeah, Michigan playing a lot less of maybe a little more sloppy, much less a together game there. We're not seeing as many passes coming out from them. They were trying to get those like ceiling shots coming through, a little of them too early on the flip resets, and they just didn't quite get that. And Delaware looking much more together on that one. They just knew what they were doing going into that. They had the pressure on lock, and towards the last 30 seconds of that one, they were just really putting it on, piling it on more, and in that last second, that ball just going in over the top was just all they needed in that game.
Yeah, we've talked about how even these two teams are, but I mean, across every statistic except for goals, they were just about equal. It's really going to come down to the wire here if Michigan can step up in the same regard as what we saw in games number 1 and 2, because right now, University of Delaware is lighting a lot of matches and trying to set fire to this lead that University of Michigan right now currently possesses. We hop into game number 4 right now with Delaware certainly feeling excited about the ending of that game. But can they control their emotions moving forward? Can they continue to settle into their game plan and play in the same regard as we saw in that last game that we watched between these two teams? The first minute of this game kicking off right now, and Delaware already trying to take it down the field. It's bouncing incredibly awkwardly. Vixa has to save it before it can get too terribly dangerous on the goal line. But possession remains for Michigan right now. They're keeping it down in the blue half right now, and really they're trying to win this game right off the bat.
Yeah, Michigan going for some reckless plays by sending everybody forward and just trying to keep pressure on as much as they can. It is working for them. They are keeping it on the backboard of Delaware, but they are sending them forward, and they're going to be losing out on boost to that. So in the end, Delaware are going to be able to clear, and it's going to be back into Michigan's half to try and pick up the pieces and do whatever they can with it. Now the script has flipped for them as they're trying to get rid of this ball here, and Buddha's going to have to put it awkwardly into the corner as Claven tries to get it away, but it's going to be put into the middle. Some demos coming out. Claven's going to be left to deal with this one by himself, but the awkward touch there just means that Buddha can get a shot off that almost hits the back of the net.
Yeah, some back and forth right now in the early part of this game, but it's an awkward touch by Vixa. He'll get demoed for it, but it puts the ball freely into the orange half. Kendall's jumping up for it, looking for the touch in, but the angle, again, awkward, not able to find that one. Flamaditto will find the touch to just make the breathing a little bit safer right now, give his teammates some time to rotate back to prepare for this next shot that's going to come in. But right now, Delaware, they're not letting it up just yet. They're continuing to put their foot on the gas. They're controlling the ball down in their opponent's half better than they could ever ask for right now. And well, 90 seconds in, and while Flamaditto is breaking them out, so far all of the control has been in favor of Delaware right now. Flamaditto's shot tucked away by Kendall, keeps it in the corner with ease, as now Michigan's starting to heat up a little bit.
Yeah, Delaware is looking like an impenetrable wall right now, though, as there's always somebody to beat. It seems like the rotations coming through from them are really good. Whenever Michigan gets the ball, it seems like there's always one or two people back for Delaware and being able to stop anything from happening. A lot of the time, not even getting past the halfway line, but that's an awkward pinch that's going to come down right in front of the goal. Kendall's going to be hard-pressed to deal with that one. The shots coming through and the demos coming through. It's going to come out in Delaware's favor, interestingly. He flicks it over, but he's not going to find the net on that one. Kendall's going to put it up onto the wall and try and get it away, but Claven's going to clear it. Going for the ceiling shot. It's going to be stopped by Vixa there.
So far, midfield boost control being a staple of both of these teams' success as Grau finds himself with space, but he doesn't have living privileges right now. He gets demoed before he can take a better shot. Flamadill's touch just keeps it in the corner right now. It seems like both of these teams are, in a way, hitting the panic button and just trying not to concede the first mistake, scrambling on their defensive rotations. Claven's going to have a ground pin shot, but Grau reads it all the way in. Flamaditto can't find the touch as well. The 50 doesn't go in his favor, but possession it remains. The shot comes in. It's low, and Buddha's found the first.
Yeah, when we talk about a quick game, sometimes, most of the time we're meaning like, the players are so good that all of the movements are fluid and everything's coming through so quickly, they're moving quickly, but in this one it feels frantic, everybody's just trying to grasp at their goal and try and dig their nails into this match, and Michigan finally have come away with a bit of a scrappy goal there, pinching it off the ground. Flamadill's going to try and run away with that momentum and get it over, but Vix is going to stop that one from happening. But Claven's going to put it up in the air, and it falls down to Buddha, but Grau's just up in time to clear that one away.
The best time to score an equalizing goal is right after your opponents have scored on you, because that's when they're feeling comfortable. They've taken the lead, and now it's a matter of mentality for the University of Delaware and trying to work their way back into this game. That opportunity right after goal seemingly has expired, but they continue on with possession, and they do have control. Down in their opponent's half, Kindle, almost a solo play, but Grau takes it away. Great bump, great pass, 1-1.
Good mind games there from Kendall to stop the clearance coming out to begin with. Maybe like opting not to go with the 50-50, just stopping and faking the shot, and then goes forward, and his teammates are already there to make sure that he has a clear goal to score on. Brilliant bumping play to get that back.
Yeah, 90 seconds remaining. We find ourselves with an equal scoreline, with Delaware coming back into their own and continuing to play strong and fight back. They found the equalizer. They've done the hard part. Now they've just got to find one more to take us out of this regular game number 4 and into potentially a game number 5. But the demo by Claven opens up the entire net to shoot at, like shooting fish in a barrel. Buddha's found a second.
Yeah, wow, the Delaware lineup just kind of lined up for them there, and Vix, the only one back, the only one alive, was on the halfway line, had to scramble back to try and get back to that one, but they've got enough time to just score that quite easily. Those two demos coming out are massive for Michigan, and they are going to try and run away with this one now. Grau's going to keep up that pressure, though. It's going to fall right down in front of the goal. Flamadiddle has to get that one away, but Grau's going to try and get it back. It's just going to be cleared away off of a pinch now, and it's going to slow down in the middle. As Delaware try and get their feet back on the ground in this game.
Yeah, 50 seconds left for Michigan to for Delaware to equalize. I'm sorry, and put us into a game number 5. Right now, Michigan making fewer mistakes. We're seeing them play a little bit more of their game plan that we saw in games number 1 and 2. It's going to come down to just who wants it more now, because right now there are 30 seconds remaining on the clock. And well, Delaware is the ones having to fight from the bottom of the hill. And well, quite frankly, Michigan have the high ground right now. 20 seconds left to play in the upper bracket life of Delaware, unless they can find an equalizer soon. It's a pass out to Kindle, immediately intercepted by Buddha, as he'll touch it out, but he'll get stuffed by Vixa. This ball doesn't leave the orange half. It's a positive for Delaware, but the negative is no goal found. Claven takes a long shot. Kindle can clear it off, keep it in the corner, as Michigan are looking to keep the pressure on, not give any space over to Delaware. They saw how they lost in game number 3 or game number 4, and now they're not going to give any space over, but they keep the ball up. Delaware's coming in. It's a flick shot, but no. Can Grau get to it in time? No, the ball will hit the ground. University of Michigan will be taking this series in 4.
Absolutely brilliant there from Michigan, taking those 3 games to 1. And yeah, to begin with, that game was looking frantic and, kind of quick. But Michigan slowing it down after they got that second goal to try and just close that one out. They did make that mistake in the last game where they gave away the game to playing a bit too aggressively, maybe being a bit too excited going into the last few seconds of the game. In that one, they wanted to slow things down and just bring everyone back, and there were actually 3 defenders already. And Delaware just facing that brick wall, couldn't get it past in the last few seconds.
Yeah, the defense for Michigan was an absolute nuisance for Delaware to have to deal with right there. They weren't able to topple Michigan, send us to an entertaining game 5 like I'm sure that we wanted to see. But Michigan do play well. They have the least amount of mistakes. They had the mistake that lost them the game in game number 3, but in game number 4, they tidy those mistakes up. They compartmentalize all of their errors, and they start to push that box away and start to bring back in their game plan that we saw in games number 1 and 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Michigan just showed their quality in all of those games in that whole series. Both teams were coming out with great plays, but Michigan, you could see they were going for the much more team plays, a lot of bump plays, a lot of demo plays, and they were going for ceiling shots at some point and trying to get those flare goals, get those clip shots that they wanted. But in the end, it just comes down to how they played with the team plays, the bumps, and the boost stealing as well. We didn't see it too often, but it wasn't very obvious. But a lot of the time, they did have control of the boost there. They were the team on higher boost most of the time, and that's really what it comes down to in the end. It was just a more solid team play from them.
Yeah, absolutely. The team play for Michigan comes out in spades, and they prove to be the superior team in this matchup. They will be moving on in the upper bracket, and Delaware will be falling down into the lower bracket. So hopefully we can continue to get some strong games moving on. I'm hearing back in my own ears. I don't know why I'm hearing that. That doesn't really matter. The point is that we've got plenty of games left to go. We've got, I believe, the round of 16 coming up next. You're not going to want to miss it. We're going to cut to a quick break, I believe. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you guys in just a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the AVGL Collegiate Champions League Grand Finals. I am your commentator, Junior PQ, and I'm joined alongside Twiggy as we're about to broadcast our next round of matches. We've moved past the round of 32, and now we're into the round of 16. We've got Cal Poly versus Richard Stockton coming up next. Twiggy, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm great. I'm really looking forward to this next game. Obviously, both teams actually coming into this one beat their respective opponents 3-0. Cal Poly beat the Rowan Profs 3-0, and Richard Stockton College got a 3-0 victory against FSU Garnet. Quite a high seed, actually, so very good with decisive wins coming into this round, so I'm excited to see how they play this one.
Yeah, I know Fisher on FSU or Garnet, and that is not an easy matchup to win. So both these teams are coming in feeling incredibly confident. I mean, they're swinging in and they're looking good. They're ready to get underway as soon as possible. It looks like we've already got the match going on right now as well. You know, he can take this down in the corner at the pass into the midfield. Shot comes in by Crush, but no, unable to find it so far. Goya stepping up, trying to make sure this ball doesn't fly awry too terribly quickly. 20 seconds into the game, we're already seeing some strong gameplay come out of the Cal Poly side, and as we continue on into this game, hopefully we continue to see the same sort of aggression. Gino strikes first for Richard Stockton.
Both teams really flexing their Rocket League muscles coming into this one, both of them really trying to show exactly what they're made of, and Gino with that double touch is going to really show Cal Poly a side of Richard Stockton that they don't want to see here. That's a great goal within the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's a huge boost of confidence, too. I mean, you find that first goal, they're looking to find a second one. It's often for Crush, but he does find a nice touch out to the corner just to make sure that they don't find a second goal too soon. That is, Richard Stockton don't find a comfortable lead within the first minute, but it's a passing play down the field. Goyo's shot stopped by Gino as the Battle of the G's concludes at least its first bout right there. Gino looking to create some space, rocking the Batmobile, trying to get the better hitbox, but no, Goyo, his shot is tucked away as Callie, and he can step up next, get this ball moving forward, opens up some space, but no one from Cal Poly was ready for that sort of a precision pass that just flies right across the front of the goal line.
Yeah, absolutely. Cal Poly really trying to reply, but Dark is just going to tip that one onto the side there. And, the pressure comes back out from Richard Stockton, but Cal Poly are really looking to put this back into a level pegging game. The Crush tries to clear it away. Callian's going to take that from him, but the double play here, the demo comes out, everything's stopping, it's flown up into the air, it's going to get put onto the backboard by Goyo, but it's pushed away by Gino. Dark's going to try and get that one as far away as possible, try and relieve some pressure from those guys.
Gino stepping up, trying to break his team out, just trying to find a second goal right here as he will pass it out middle, but it's still awkward as it pinches out right to the bumper of Goyo. But it's a long shot by Dark. Can Callian get back in time? He takes the right angle. He gets bumped off. It's chaos, but it means that he gets the save anyways. Crush manages to find the demo to prevent the immediate counterattack, and Gino can keep up his possession right here around that midfield line. Dark's the next one to step up, air dribbling through the sky, trying to be Superman, trying to be the hero, but no, doesn't find that second one too quickly. Right now, Cal Poly seem like they're on their back foot for a large portion of this game right now, and right before we cross halftime, you've got to start being a little bit more aggressive if you want to get back into this game number one.
Yeah, absolutely. Richard Stockton are really putting it up to 11 going into this one, and they don't want to let Cal Poly even get into the game whatsoever. You can see these quick responses coming out from Richard Stockton every time Cal Poly gets an attack on, and they're keeping it all the way in the Cal Poly half, and whenever they're not, they're keeping it out of their own goal. But Cal Poly trying to put on some pressure now. Callian goes on for a shot, but Gino's going to push that one all the way out. It's flown up into the air for Dark to put onto the backboard. Awkwardly flies up into the air again, and Dark tries to get on it, but it's going to be punched down in the middle. A 50-50 comes out. Dark's really just trying to put as much pressure on this ball as possible. He's been on this one for a good 10 seconds now.
Yeah, Cal Poly just have been unable to break out so far. I mean, they've had moments of breaking out, but it hasn't been consistent pressure like we've seen earlier. It's a beautiful save by Crush to prevent Gino from finding that second, more comfortable goal right there. Goyo's going to look to work the ball down the field, but the midfield boost control right now out of Richard Stockton is incredible. They're not giving Cal Poly any momentum to move forward to get opportunities downfield, thanks to the fact that they can't go nearly as fast as they would like to.
Yeah, and even though Cal Poly are putting on these demos, they're trying to get this ball all the way forward. They've been getting some balls onto the backboard, they're not quite able to convert any of this. You know, they're not able to put as many people on the attack as they'd like because of the pressure from Richard Stockton. They know at any point the ball could float down into their own half, and now they have to deal with that one. But that's going to fall awkwardly into the middle. Nobody's there to take the shot quite early enough. It's just scrambling around from Cal Poly trying to get anything out of that one, but nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, 60 seconds left, and that's probably the best opportunity Cal Poly has had all series, but no dark shot. It doesn't find the top corner like he placed it to find. 50 seconds left, and Cal Poly, it feels like that they've squandered their first really good chance right now, and well, Richard Stockton are not letting up on their defensive front at all, continuing to play solidly, continuing to play to the best degree that they can, and right now, Cal Poly struggling to find an answer, a path to move forward into an equal scoreline.
Yeah, Cal Poly have really been putting on attacks, but they haven't been able to convert anything. Everybody's there a little too late just to get those passing plays done, and Richard Stockton are doing so well to just keep up pressure and not make mistakes, and that bump play comes out, and Dark's just going to have a completely open goal to tap that one into. Look at this. Kallian trying to shadow defend this one, and Dark kind of fakes the ball, but instead goes for the bump, and Dark's just going to be able to put that one away cleanly. That's 2-0 now with only 15 seconds left to go.
Yeah, it's relatively safe to say right now that Stockton is going to be taking game number 1. We have seen crazier things in Rocket League. The comeback is still an option, but with 10 seconds left, 5 seconds per goal, it seems incredibly unlikely. That's also given the fact that Richard Stockton have played about as good of a game as you could ask for right now. They're playing solid. The teamwork is obviously there. The comms seem to be immaculate right now, and Richard Stockton, I mean, they take the game 1 victory right now, and they've got to be feeling good about this one.
Yeah, definitely. It's not like it was just a game where you win and it's like, oh, well, there we go. We won the game. On to the next one. They just didn't make many mistakes at all. I didn't see anything that really could be capitalized on from them from the side of Cal Poly, and it's just as clean a game as you'd like to see. And yeah, they're going to be feeling good coming off of that one, especially with those 2 goals. There was some good team play coming out, and they were just absorbing pressure and throwing it straight back at Cal Poly that whole time.
Absolutely. 9 total shots coming out of Richard Stockton. Compare that to, I believe, the 4 or 5 total that Cal Poly found. If you take more shots, you're naturally going to find more goals, and when you're on offense more, you create more opportunities. One thing that I definitely want to see Cal Poly to work out in game number 2 is just their offensive presence on the pitch. They're not really showing many opportunities, and when they finally do get these opportunities, it feels like they just kind of give them away, or they don't get as strong of a shot as they would like. As we're about to hop into game number 2 right now, Cal Poly, we really haven't seen much out of their offense right now, and we're going to need to see that moving forward if they even want a shot against a red-hot Richard Stockton right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw many balls floated into the danger zone right in front of the goal, but nobody really able to convert them. People maybe a little too far back, a little late. Maybe you know, they're scared of that attack from Richard Stockton. As we move into the second game, maybe put some more people on that attacking front, get some more pressure going onto them. So I think you could score some of those goals there.
Absolutely. It's going to come down to unforced errors once again. 10 seconds in, we're already seeing some pressure out of Cal Poly, but they don't capitalize on their early opportunities that they had downfield. Crush is going to try to air dribble it out, but immediately be stuffed by Gino. Its ball continues down in the blue half as Cal Poly, this is certainly what you don't want to see. They're finally going to break out. Callian's going to have himself an opportunity, angles his guard to perfection, and finds the first goal for Cal Poly in the series.
There it is, and this time it's off the back of a mistake from Richard Stockton there. 2 players are going to get beaten by Cali in there. And yeah, wow, that's uncharacteristic from what we saw in the first game from Richard Stockton, but it's exactly what Cal Poly need to get that first goal. And you know, they've broken through the Titan that they were playing against in the first game. That's got to feel good for them. Maybe open up some more plays.
First goal in the series is always the hardest to score because up until you score a goal, you think that the defense you're playing against is impenetrable. But so far, Cal Poly has proved that to not be the case. They found themselves an early goal, and they found themselves with 1 good shot and 1 good goal. But Dark got to equalize now. They're fighting from the low ground now. He's looking for the double tap, finds the dunk, but the 50 is better out of Crush. 1 minute into this game, possession remains for Richard Stockton as they struggle to break out of their own half. Cal Poly is continuously making these goal line saves and struggle to get any sort of breathing room, but finally it's another long touch. The rotation split in half like the Red Sea, and Richard Stockton right now, their rotation starting to be a little bit of a problem as well. That was almost a second goal found for Cal Poly, and eventually it dominoes into Goyo finding a second right there.
Richard Stockton, something's happened to them. They're playing slower, they're playing these defensive, they're not getting enough people back in time, and it's just creating scrambles around in the box to clear the ball. And that's twice that Cal Poly have been able to capitalize off of a little slow play from Richard Stockton in the back line, which is unfortunate for them, and Gino's going to have to pick up a ball immediately. Cal Poly putting on that pressure, shots coming out. There's already 2 in the first 10 seconds of this passage of play.
Yeah, it's another good shot by Dark as they're trying to at least cut the deficit in half, but right now they haven't found it just yet. We're 90 seconds into this game right now. Goyo's going to pinch this one down to a teammate, but the connection is not there. Dark looking for the dribble, looks for the pass to the bottom corner, doesn't quite find it though. 3:10 left to go on this clock. Plenty of time for Richard Stockton to get back into this and show us what we saw in game number 1, but right now, Cal Poly are proving to be the better team right now in this showdown, at least in this second heading.
And it's a brilliant clearance, though, from Richard Stockton to get it forward. It's not going to find anybody. The defensive plays from Cal Poly looking a lot more solid coming out, and Lark's just going to try and go for a little air dribble there, but it's going to be cut out. And that quick shot coming in from Cali in there is absolutely going to split through the defense of Richard Stockton, and Cal Poly have found their rhythm, it looks like.
Yeah, not only have Cal Poly found their rhythm, but Richard Stockton seemed to have gotten a little bit complacent after game number 1, and that's the perfect equation to finding success. Cal Poly is stepping up in the best possible regard, and Richard Stockton, they got 3 goals scored on them before they could even say, how did we get scored on?
They really need to bring this one back soon if they want to get back into this game. It's almost halfway done. And obviously, you can score that many goals in half a game. We just saw it, but it's going to be so difficult, especially off the momentum that Cal Poly have just built up. Shots are coming through now from Richard Stockton, but they're not finding anything yet. A bit weak. Oh, a second one comes through, and that's just a little 50-50 that's gone in Gino's favor, and it's just going to float on into the back of the net. Nobody ready for that one.
Yeah, there was already some double commits. The defense was scrambling, and Gino just sorts through all of it and chooses his card of choice, which is finding the first for Richard Stockton. With 2:20 left to go, Cal Poly definitely still have a strong and comfortable advantage, but Richard Stockton are bouncing back and looking to prove to be the same formidable opponent that Cal Poly faced up against in the first game. Now we see some more possession coming out of Cal Poly. It looks like they will break out for the time being, and Richard Stockton will have some breath, some fresh air as they seem newly revitalized after that first goal. They're not able to move that second man into the top of the box, and because of that, they're not finding these same sorts of opportunities that they found in game number 1.
The pass there from Marsh coming through to Gino, maybe a bit high, going to be difficult to shoot off of, but it's going to go back into the middle. Dark tries to shoot it, but nothing's going to find... nothing's to be found for him, so Cal Poly are going to pick back up possession. A little play around the middle of the pitch has Richard Stockton chasing them all over the pitch. What happened there? 2 people bumped into each other from Cal Poly, and it looks like it's just found the back of the net accidentally. Nobody was ready for that one on the Richard Stockton side. And I think Crush just bumping the other player into a better position to score that one. Interesting.
Yeah, a bit of a pool shot right there. It ends up working out. I mean, a goal is a goal at the end of the day for Cal Poly. And, well, Richard Stockton, you might just have to chalk that one up as unlucky as Dark's trying to change the narrative once again, trying to barrel this ball down the field. It's a nice shot that's saved away at the last minute by Cali, and Dark can regain possession. Only 10 boosts to his name, though, but he's still finding solid 50-50s off of this and allowing this pressure to persist right now for Richard Stockton. Now, a minute and 15 seconds is not that much time to score 3 goals, but at least we're seeing Richard Stockton bounce back and continue to show why they won that game number 1 as formidably as they did. About to hit that 60-second mark, though. Cal Poly continued to have played strong in this early game, and they continue that momentum on into the late game with 60 seconds left. Cal Poly, the favorites right now to take game number 2 and equalize the score at 1-0 or 1-1. And Goyo, his shot immediately taken away as he's looking to find a fifth as well. They're not slowing down at all.
Cal Poly are just looking indestructible in this second game, and every time a shot comes through, somebody's there to stop it. They've also had that attacking power coming through. A few mistakes from Richard Stockton have just made that they've opened up, and Cal Poly seem to be great at converting those little mistakes. As Cal Poly are just on the back foot trying to defend this one, they're not really under any pressure. There's only 25 seconds left, and they're 3 goals up. They clear it away, and with Richard Stockton committing everybody to the attack, it looks like they're going to have to take more time to clear this one away, and it's just going to drill down the clock here until Cal Poly are going to take this one away. Only 10 seconds left. They keep trying to push it away, and Richard Stockton trying to get anything on the board they can, but with 1 second left, that's it. It's going to touch the ground soon, but Crush is not giving up yet. Going to go for another goal. Doesn't quite find the touch. It's going to be slammed into the ground for the Cal Poly victory by 3 goals there.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a great bounce back from Cal Poly. They took the cards that they were dealt, and they absolutely succeeded with that. They realized, look, we're down by a game right now early in this series, but that doesn't mean we have to give up just yet. And that's exactly what we saw in this. We saw them play a lot more confidently, a lot more aggressive, and they really took the game plan to Richard Stockton and found a great game to equalize the series score off of. It's a great look moving forward for Cal Poly, but I think there are moments of brilliance out of Richard Stockton that we can look to and say, like, look, this team is just a little bit dormant right now. They've slowed down their game plan a little bit. They've become complacent given the state of their series score right now, but it looks like they're still in there. There's still hope for them to bounce back. But right now, if Cal Poly keeps shutting them down, it's not going to be a pretty sight if you're a Richard Stockton fan.
Yeah, I mean, we saw glimpses of the first game, Richard Stockton there, coming into the second game, but obviously Cal Poly were able to keep that up, and it's great mental fortitude from them. Obviously, that's a big part of the game. You know, it's not just about how you play the game; it's about how you think about it. You know, stopping yourself from being on tilt and being able to come back into a game with a fresh mindset. Go, okay, you just need to win this one, and then we're back to a 1-1. We can stay in this one, and now, you know, because momentum is such a big part of the game, and you know, if you lose that first game, it can be really hard on you. But you need to come back and go like, okay, guys, we need to come back into this game. And if we score these goals, we get this game. We'll be completely on level pegging, and now we can really show them what we're made of. If they can keep up that momentum going into the second game, they're already on top.
Yeah, Cal Poly have bounced back and made this series effectively a best of 3 from here on out. The person who wins the next 2 out of 3 games will be moving on in the upper bracket. The loser moves down, and of course, to the losers bracket. Cal Poly looking strong right now headed into game number 3. We'll see if they can keep that momentum moving forward. But right now, Richard Stockton, lots of questions to ask for them. Where'd they go? Will they come back? That can only be answered through more games of Rocket League that we have left on the cards.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, to begin with, it looked like it was just underestimating Cal Poly. You know, they'd just beaten them in quite a great fashion, but in the end, you really do. You can't slow down against a team, especially when you are. You know, these teams are right next to each other in the seeds. They should be at a similar skill level, and you really need to. You know, give some respect to your opponents and play a little more defensively. Maybe try and stop them from getting that. Just because they haven't performed as well as they could in the first game, you can't underestimate them because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. You cannot underestimate either two of these teams. We've seen the dangerousness of Richard Stockton in game number 1, and we've seen the energy come out of Cal Poly in game number 2. Now, as we move on in the series, each and every game becomes more and more crucial. You can argue that game 1s don't really matter in the grand scheme of a best of 5, that game 2s are just kind of the equalizing of the pressures on either force. But as we move on in the series, each of these games becomes more and more important right now. And while the series is tied up at 1-1, and these teams are both deadlocked in terms of skill level, each of these games is going to have a little bit more weight to it. It's going to be a little bit harder to hold the loss if that ends up being the result for either of these teams. Cal Poly desperately needs a win here, I think, to take control of the series. And Richard Stockton have a lot to prove that they aren't just going to win odd number games. They aren't just going to show up for game 1 and be completely absent for the rest of the series. Both these teams have a lot to prove, and as we're looking to hop into game number 3 shortly, I mean, we've got a lot of game left, and hopefully we can see both these teams assert their gameplay, start to show their dominance on the pitch a little bit more, and control the game in the way that they want to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw even in the round of 32 where we had the 4th game coming out. You know, the 4th game looked so much more frenzied and so much more panicked from both teams than the first 3 games, because, you know, as you move forward, you are hit with the reality that, you know, one team is going to win in this game or the next, and you really need to try and push everything onto that ball. And you know, as you try and put more pressure on, it opens up your defense. You might have a better chance of scoring, which is exactly what you need. And obviously, Cal Poly did so well in that game to keep that pressure on. But yeah, maybe Richard Stockton will be hard pressed to keep their mental in check coming into these next games, as they realize now that they really need to keep up that defense that they didn't quite have in that second game.
Yeah, absolutely. Cal Poly and Richard Stockton looking to take control of this series. Looks like we have a little bit of technical difficulties. Looks like we haven't started game number 3 just yet. Looks like we're working on getting the server all set up for these teams to compete in game number 3. While we wait, I think that I guess the question we can pose is which one of these teams so far has had the better strategy when it succeeded? Because Richard Stockton, the first start of the game or at the start of the series, they looked like they were playing incredibly strong. They looked like the more confident team, but suddenly that confidence was dashed by Cal Poly in game number or 2, I believe. And because of that, we find ourselves at this equal scoreline. I'm just wondering who you think is going to be the one who bounces back first.
I mean, for me, Richard Stockton have looked like the more capable team in terms of making attacks happen. You know, it was only small mistakes that won them that game from Cal Poly, but Richard Stockton made some big defensive mistakes to get Cal Poly that lead. I feel like Richard Stockton have the better chance of winning this game, but obviously it's all to play for still with the 1-1 scoreline.
Yeah, we alluded to the Hot Wheels version of the match. Whether intentionally or accidentally, it doesn't quite matter because 15 seconds into this game, Richard Stockton find themselves at midfield and find themselves with some control moving forward. Goyo to take up the ball on this right-hand side, trying to break it out. But right now, Richard Stockton not giving them much space to work with, but because of that, they leave their net wide open and they put themselves in a state where, well, they have a long shot that can absolutely be the detriment. 30 seconds in, Richard Stockton looking to bounce back from a game number 2 loss. Nice shot comes in by Dark as he finds the first with only 40 seconds played.
Yeah, this is really Richard Stockton's style, it seems like, committing men forward and just being able to make quick attacks. It does leave their defense open, but when it works for them, you can see that passing play is absolutely beautiful. There's nothing Cal Poly can do to touch that one, and that's why I think Richard Stockton really have the upper hand coming into these games. They've got the ideas and the creativity they need to make these things happen. It's just that if it doesn't work out for them, that's when the defense becomes open for them.
Touched by Callian, touched away by Dark, I believe. It's a long shot downfield. It'll be finished by Gino. Every single member of Richard Stockton touching the ball on this counterattack as they combine to find a second.
Yeah, Goyo's just left in the back line there, trying to do anything he can, but, you know, floating up into the ball, you don't know where the next player's coming from. You're just trying to touch it the best you can, and he doesn't have enough boost to quite get it away. So Richard Stockton keeping up that pressure is really good from them. They came into this game reinvigorated, it looks like, and they're putting another shot on target. It comes off the backboard, and they're going to have to clear that one away, but there's so much pressure coming out from Richard Stockton that Cal Poly can't get it out of their own half. It's going to come off the backboard again and again and again. The shots keep coming out, but the 50-50 in the end comes out for Cal Poly, and it's going to be back into their corner where they can slow things down a little more.
We're seeing a lot more offensive pressure from Richard Stockton in this game. Maybe it's because Cal Poly is playing complacent, or maybe it's just because Richard Stockton has decided to speed up their game plan a little bit. 90 seconds in, it's a long shot downfield. That large certainly thought that one was going in, but no, doesn't find the back of the net. It'll be a great clear by Gino. Actually pinches off of a Cal Poly member before it can get saved by Goyo right here in the back corner. Time's ticking down, though, in Cal Poly. They had the answers to the Richard Stockton question in game number 2. We haven't seen that so far in game number 3 as Richard Stockton continue to bounce back, continue this lion's share of the possession down in their opponent's half, and are looking to take game number 3.
Yeah, it's really a game of a series of comeback plays from both teams here as they both try and come off of a loss and pick themselves up by the bootstraps to win the game. And Richard Stockton have done so well to put the pressure on immediately in this game and catch Cal Poly off guard after quite a less attacking game last time. They put it up into the air for Gino to try and score, but Crusher's going to 50-50 that one back up into the corner. And now they're on the back foot again, Cal Poly, as Richard Stockton keep putting passes together. Goya's going to have to touch that one up into the air, which is going to put it in a nice place for the Richard Stockton attack. Dark puts a weak shot on goal, which is going to be easily cleared away by Callian. But yeah, Cal Poly still on the back foot. They still haven't got it out their half, and a shot comes through, just hits off the crossbar. It's so difficult for Cal Poly to do anything right here. They're being squeezed out, and the boost is going to be taken away from them over and over again as well.
Yeah, it feels like also that Cal Poly are just kind of like overextending as much as they can, because really that's their only hope of finding any sort of the space, just praying that one of these challenges that they're a bit out of position for ends up working out and puts them in a more favorable spot moving forward. It's another bump play in the back of the net, but Goyo, he doesn't end up having to face the fear of a shot coming in. The final follow-up comes in, and Large takes a third for Richard Stockton, as they're starting to heat up and their offensive pressure has been immaculate so far.
Yeah, absolutely. The ball has not been in the Richard Stockton half for a good minute and a half so far. They've kept the pressure on so well. The rotations coming out to keep their boost filled up and keep everybody making 50-50s on the midway line to stop Cal Poly getting it anywhere near the Richard Stockton goal. But as I say that, Goya's going to try and put something over Richard Stockton goal with a little flip reset, putting it past one, but he saves his own player's shot. Crush trying to finish it off, and Goyo's just left mid-air to save his own shot. That's a shame from them. They're going to feel the pressure of that one as they keep trying to make these attacks happen. Goyo puts it forward. Richard Stockton adapting to the defense just as well as they were to the attack here.
Yeah, double demo 2 should open up some space, but the problem is that really Cal Poly committed all 3 members forward. They will find the result of this. Crush will net the first for Cal Poly. But right there, one thing that concerns me is that Cal Poly committed 3 members forward, and it took double demos to finally find the goal there.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the way a lot of teams like to play the game, but Cal Poly have had to absolutely change up their play style and completely just go for full attack, getting demos and getting all of these like double and triple commits even to try and even get any pressure to score a goal. And if it takes that much to score a goal with 1 minute left, and Richard Stockton are going to be adapting to that one to try and stop it from happening again. There's a double commit coming out from Cal Poly defense. They get in each other's way and a shot comes through. It's just saved on the goal line. Now it's scrambling again for Cal Poly, and if they can't relieve this pressure, then they're not going to be able to get enough players on the attack to keep that pressure up we saw from the first goal from them in this game.
Yeah, Richard Stockton with a comfortable advantage right now, but Cal Poly looking to find a more reasonable approach to the Richard Stockton defense right now, and so far that's been unsuccessful. Dark finds his way down the field, whether by luck or by skill, does well to keep possession now in the corner, trying to touch it over the final man, but Crush tucks it away, makes sure it can stay in the corner and alleviates the pressure, but it's only for a short amount of time as Gino takes another shot. It just feels like the Cal Poly members right now are jumping up and down on the goal line right now, just praying that maybe one of those shots will be saved by them. So far, Richard Stockton in these final 10 seconds have absolutely not let off the gas pedal whatsoever, and it's going to lead them forward into a Game 3 victory, put them on match point, and the pressure right now just seems a little bit daunting for Cal Poly to have to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. Cal Poly really only got one meaningful attack in this game, and as they try and keep it up in the air, maybe stat pad a little bit. It's just so it was so difficult for them to get it out of their half. I think maybe Richard Stockton, if we were looking at stats on possession and stuff like that, they probably had around 70% possession or something more than that. You know, they kept it in the Cal Poly half and they just kept up the pressure over and over again. And when you get in the rhythm of just being able to slam shots back and forth onto their backboard, Cal Poly trying to soak up the pressure, it's so difficult for them to actually make anything of an attack when you're spending that many resources defending the ball from Richard Stockton's attacks.
Yeah, absolutely. Richard Stockton leveling on 14 shots there against Cal Poly. Eventually, one of them is going to go in. Unfortunately for Richard Stockton, 3 of them were found. When you have that kind of an offensive pressure across the 5 minutes of games that we watch, I mean, that's so daunting for Cal Poly to have to step into. Now, the question is, they find themselves on match point right now. They put themselves in, well, not exactly the best scenario, but not the worst scenario. This is still a comebackable series. It's still a possibility, that's for sure. And with what we saw from Cal Poly at game number 2, it is certainly an option. But with what we saw out of Richard Stockton in game number 3, it just looks like they've really stepped up. They've stopped playing complacent. They look like they're asserting their game plan on their opponents. Cal Poly, can be scary. One thing I can look to that can be kind of wary about Richard Stockton, though, is that they had a similar result in game number 1 and then dropped it in game number 2. So we'll see if they can only win odd number games or if they're going to go on and win their even number game. But Richard Stockton play a great game number 3. They have a strong showing, and now Cal Poly, it's them who have to fight back and essentially put themselves in a watered down version of a reverse sweep.
Yeah, and we've seen that Richard Stockton can deal with the pressure of going with a full-on attacking play. You know, the first game they were going with a quite attacking play style, not putting much on defense, and this third game they've really gone all out with that play style. They're just sending everybody forward and keeping them in the Cal Poly half, put the pressure on, and when they found the rhythm of that, they were able to just keep putting attacks on, and Cal Poly just had to try and, you know, keep blocking shots, which is definitely difficult for them, but keeping that pressure on can be so difficult because you need to find the rhythm to begin with, and as we go into the next game, it's going to be difficult for them to maybe keep that up. We'll see what they do with it, though.
Yeah, Richard Stockton find themselves on defense. Goyo's shot hits off the crossbar to start off the series, or start off game number 4, I believe. And now we're seeing Cal Poly come out guns a-blazing. We're watching them start to find some possession down in the Richard Stockton half and start to put their game plan into action right now. And Richard Stockton right now, they do find themselves down in the blue half. They're continuing this possession, and they seem to have stabilized a little bit off of the kickoff. Right now, I mean, Cal Poly, they came out, they're looking to win this game. I mean, they kind of have to if they want to continue moving on in the winner's bracket. And right now, while Stockton, they continue to drive down the field, Cal Poly, we see a little bit more energy out of them than we saw in game number 3.
Yeah, Cal Poly's definitely dealing with the pressure a little better than they did. Maybe that little break, they had a little talk, talking about how they can deal with the pressure a little more, maybe a bit more rotations coming through. But Richard Stockton are trying to keep up this pressure that we saw in the last game. They're definitely attempting to keep the same strategy. As we can see, they're pushing it all the way down into the Cal Poly half again. But Cal Poly definitely, they feel a little more confident dealing with the Richard Stockton playstyle coming into this one.
Yeah, Large is going to try to change that, though. We can talk about how confident Cal Poly is, but right now they still have not had that many good offensive attempts, and Gino and company continue to barrel down their throats. 90 seconds in, it's a long shot by Crush. The demo is going to come out, make it a 2v3 for a little bit, but the respawns are going to come in before another meaningful offensive opportunity can step through. Cal Poly comes through, passing play with Gino, looking for the double tap. It's not found, but Dark's found himself with an open net. Can't control it. Keeps it over here on the post. Opts for possession rather than a missed shot, and does so in spades. Long shot downfield. No one's back for Richard Stockton, and Cal Poly have opened up with their first goal.
Yeah, oh dear, a little attacking mistake there from Large, not being able to find the powerful shot onto the goal with the semi-open net there, and it's just kind of thrown the rest of the Richard Stockton players off. They're not sure exactly how to defend this long loop shot from Cal Poly, and that's one mistake, and that's exactly what we thought the problem might be coming from Richard Stockton as they keep up their play style. Is just how are they going to be able to defend when they're being able to when they're trying to put on so much attacking pressure.
Yeah, it's a nice opener, though, for Gino as he retaliates in the best possible fashion. 1-1, though. Looked like Crush just got a weak touch that immediately got dunked. Boyo caught out in no man's land, bottom right-hand corner. The precision there, but not necessarily needed. Richard Stockton equalized the scoreline. There's still plenty of game to go.
Yeah, of course, and right as I say, Richard Stockton might not be able to deal with keeping the attack up the whole time. They do score a goal immediately. It's to be expected at this point, but they're going to try and keep this one up now. And yeah, that's exactly what they needed. They do want to try and keep this up now because it's got to be good feeling for them as they're keeping up this attacking playstyle. Look at that. It's such a tight pass from them. They're just going to try and keep this in the Cal Poly half again. Ooh, puts it down right in front of goal, the 50-50. Really unfortunate for Cal Poly, but they're going to be able to deal with it just about. Goyo clears it away into Crush, who clears it away again. Now it's flip the script as Richard Stockton are trying to deal with this one. Everybody very good at keeping those backboard balls away from their goal. They're putting it forward onto the backboard, and it's dealt with again. Both teams coming out with great defensive plays right now.
Yeah, so far the defenses have sort of equalized and remained rock solid since both goals were scored early on in this game, relatively speaking. But Cal Poly are coming through again. They're looking for these bump plays, a little bit more physical play style than what we've seen out of them before. And right now it may just be their benefactor shot towards the top corner that Large can save away with as much ease as you can ask for. A long shot by Gino, just trying to open up some space. The touch won't be found. The follow-up is not on target. Unfortunately dunked away. Gino following this on the backboard, just trying to cut down every possible option that he can. 90 seconds remaining, and these teams look like they're playing a whole lot more fiery than we have seen before, as really it's still anybody's ball game, and well, they're trying to take control in whatever way they can.
Yeah, absolutely. Whereas both teams are playing very attacking, as we can see, they're also trying to put more men on defense. They're getting the quicker rotations back. They're not sustaining pressure for as long as we saw them trying to do there. A little pull shot accidentally there. Crush almost scoring an own goal off the back of a little slam from a little bump from Richard Stockton players, but now they're on the back foot. A demo coming out is going to make Large the only person who can defend this one, but that clear is massive, and Crush is going to have to deal with it himself. Oh no, the last player Richard Stockton demoed, but they are a little slow with that one. It goes straight up, and it's right between the two defensive players for Richard Stockton. Cal Poly have found the chink in the Richard Stockton armor there.
The selfish thing for Crush to do there is just to try to dribble it and flick it onto the two grounded defenders for Richard Stockton. But he does the selfless thing. He passes it out to middle, and Callian is able to step up right there and find the advantage now for Cal Poly. Great team play right there as Cal Poly continue to come into their own and continue to play strong. Callian keeping possession down here once again. It just seems like Cal Poly have found a new rhythm right now, and they're absolutely taking it to Richard Stockton, while the scoreline not proving that one bit. The control and the possession right now has so far been in Cal Poly's hands for this latter part of the game. It's a beautiful air dribble that doesn't find its way into the net. Gino, the hero on the goal line, but right now he needs to be a hero down on the offense as well. 15 seconds remain right now as Gino gets a touch down to the blue half. It's bouncing awkwardly for Goyo to get to. He's not going to be able to find a touch. It's a shot on net. Crush reads it perfectly. 5 seconds for Richard Stockton to win game number 4, but no, they won't even be able to equalize right now. The time is going to expire. One final chance for Cal Poly as Richard Stockton failed to get out of their own half. We've seen a 0-second goal once this tournament already. Will we see another one? No. The ball will hit the ground. Cal Poly will take game number 4, and we're headed to game number 5.
By far the most even game we've seen from these two teams. They felt like they really felt each other out on that one, and both teams having a very similar number of shots. I think that was 9 for Cal Poly and 6 for Richard Stockton, and that's much more what we want to see from Cal Poly, definitely, but both teams playing well in that game. It's not like there were many mistakes to be capitalized on by either team. They both just played a very solid defense, a very solid attack, and in the end, the defense of Richard Stockton did break open for that last goal. So close, saving that one, but in the end, yeah, Cal Poly playing much better in that game, and it's again a game of just trying to capitalize off each other's weaknesses one by one, and seeing games traded out 1-to-1 there.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the games that we've watched before have felt like games of who's going to make the more mistakes. This one was whose game plan is going to be better because they played relatively similar styles in terms of offensive aggressiveness and defensive passiveness. But because of that, it makes it to where you basically have to start splitting ends open and trying to create bigger holes to exploit. And well, Cal Poly come out victors in that opportunity. And well, they find 2 goals off the back of them. But you're exactly right. This is the most even game that we've seen between these teams by far, and not only in the seeding or in their record, but just in terms of gameplay. I mean, you can only look at stats for so long before you start to realize how close these teams are at skill level. Cal Poly and Richard Stockton sending us to game number 5 right now, and I'm excited to see really who steps up more, because we've talked about this a little bit, but Richard Stockton has only won the odd number games, and Cal Poly has only been able to win the even number ones. It may just be a fruitless statistic, but still, we'll see if Richard Stockton can bounce back from game number 4 and get back into this series. Hopefully win game number 5, we'll hit it in Neo Tokyo for the final game of this series.
Yeah, and this is an odd-numbered game, so Richard Stockton maybe feel quite confident coming into this one if they're listening along, but they are pushing forward now, and they're just going to try and make any attacks happen. It looks like they're keeping up the pressure this game, just like they have in the first and third. As they come forward here, they're going to soak up a little more pressure from Cal Poly, make sure they're not scoring anything in the early parts of this game. Yet now as they go for an attack, Dark's going to come off the wall, go for an air dribble. Cullian's going to stop that one in its tracks, and 50-50 out into his own defensive corner. Ooh, but Cal Poly are going to get it through there with a demo. Dark is able to clear that one off the backboard with a little pinch. Much more pressure from Cal Poly, but both teams have had attacks now.
No defense has crumbled off those attacks either, which is certainly a sigh of relief. You never want to get scored on in the early game, because that just means that every minute that passes that you have to fight continuously from behind, and that's an emotionally draining state to be in. Now, currently in this early game, we're seeing the same level of even gameplay as we saw in game number 4, and Richard Stockton, they have had their opportunities, but so have Cal Poly, and well, it's going to come down to who can capitalize off their shots and save the most of these shots that come in from their opponents. Really, that boils down this game to the simplest of terms. You score more goals than your opponent, you win the game, and right now, neither of these teams have scored as of yet.
Yeah, I think when you are in a Game 5 situation and either team could win and send you into the lower bracket, you are driven to play a kind of more defensive play style, and you can see both teams are less, they don't want to go for balls that they could lose as easily. The defenders are staying back, so you've always got one man back, try and save as many goals as possible, because both teams want to get that late goal in the game. The later you score a goal, the more likely you are to win the game.
Yeah, and 2 minutes in, and really it feels like a game number 1 where these teams are just kind of feeling each other out, not doing anything too aggressive. Callian's going to find the end of this shot, but it's a beautiful save. Keeps it off the post, and the rotation from Gino swoops in. Now Dark finds himself with some space to work with, but Goyo can step up and get the other end of that ball out to midfield. Now, right as I say, it feels like a game number 1. These teams go as aggressive as they can. We see 2 counterattacks for either side. Cal Poly and Richard Stockton looking to take the advantage before we cross halftime, but no goal is found just yet. Goyo with the dribble. Gino swoops in, keeps it down in the corner. Possession is kept in the midfield. Boost control is regained for Richard Stockton right now. But Cal Poly are not letting up. They're not giving any space over to the Richard Stockton side, as will finally be a clear after a bit of a stint of offense out of Cal Poly, but no goal has been found yet. It feels like these teams are both just building up, coiling up, ready to strike at any possible moment.
Yeah, absolutely. They seem to just try... Ooh, they seem to be absorbing pressure and trying to go for counterattacks, and that's a great counterattack there from Cal Poly that gets cleared away just on the goal line there. Not going to clear up the last clear in, but he can't get it all the way out. Large is going to have to do that massive cleared shot there. It's going to come off the backboard off a save, but they're going to have to fall back and try and absorb that one. Again, Gino takes it onto the wall, doesn't have any boost to get it any further out, so Large is going to have to come in for him there. It's going to stay in the Richard Stockton half now, as Cal Poly are just lining up, taking their turn to take on the defenders. Pushes it around the corner, but Large is going to clear that one away, get it all the way out, hopefully, so that he can stage another counterattack. They obviously both want to, they both want to defend more, but in the end, the attacks are what going to win you the game. Dark pushes it out to Large there for a pass. The shot comes through, and it's so quick, but Crush just gets in front of it. Goyo will be able to put that one onto the corner.
Yeah, it just feels like both these teams are trying to act like sponges right now, but a sponge can't always absorb water. Likewise, one of these shots is going to have to go in. It's going to be a matter of which defense breaks first, and really we're seeing similar gameplay out of both Richard Stockton and Cal Poly. Crush is on the air dribble. It's a double commit right there on that bottom waterfall, and a slight pass out opens up space straight up into the air. Awkward for Crush to deal with. He won't be able to find the shot on that one. It's a long shot downfield. Goyo rotates back. So far, both these teams have played nearly immaculately right now, and Callian, doing well to keep that off the goal line, just continues to press this, that these teams are scoreless in the final 30 seconds right now of this game at number 5.
They're really expending all of their pressure into trying to defend effectively. We saw that from Callian there as he brought out a brilliant half flip to try and get the ball in a great position. Large just touches it down slowly, and nobody's in net for the Cal Poly defense. They'd all just scrambled for that last ball. I think a double commit. No, it just Crush is sent out of the way by pushing out the Richard Stockton attacker, and Large is left in the air with the ball and an open net, and he's managed to clear that one up. And with 17 seconds left, that's got to be a slap in the face for Cal Poly.
Yeah, it's either going to be a knockout punch or it's going to be a wake-up call, because they have 10 seconds to go the entire length of the field. Large is going to keep possession, but actually it's a pinch touch. Dark has to race back, manages to get back in time. He's got full boost to work with. He's just trying to burn as much time as he can. Expertly keeps it, but now it's into the corner. Follow-up shot coming through. It's going to be on target, but no, saved away by Dark. Callian, no, he can't keep it alive. Richard Stockton take the series in 5 as Cal Poly heartbroken in the waning seconds of the game.
Yeah, and after watching that first and third game, I didn't expect it to be as close in those last 2 games from Richard Stockton and Cal Poly as it was. Richard Stockton only winning 3-2 there. I say only winning, it was a great performance from them. They did so well, and so did Cal Poly. Honestly, the way they came back in those 2 games after being down a game was so good from them to keep it even. But in the end, Richard Stockton coming out with that it was just this little panic there in the end from Cal Poly that opened up the defense and just had that open net to score in, and that's got to be heartbreaking for them, with 20 seconds left in a game, conceding and knowing that you're going to be sent down into the lower bracket if you can't make a counterattack happen in the last like few seconds of the game. It's got to be very difficult on them.
Yeah, and it's certainly got to pull at your heartstrings. I mean, both those teams played incredibly solid defenses and offenses for the entirety of game number 5, but it just comes down to one mistake, one urge to play a little bit faster than they need to, and unfortunately the ball squirts out. It's an easy touch in for Richard Stockton. They find game number 5. They move on in the upper bracket. Cal Poly is down, but not out, down to the losers bracket, where they will continue on in their run. But that's going to do it for this round of 16 matchup for us. We're going to head to a quick break real quick while we set up the next matchup on the cards. We've got more Rocket League coming your way right after this.
In 2020, we interrupted your regularly scheduled programming to bring you $250,000 worth of scholarships through Intel Inspires. Now, in 2021, we are the regularly scheduled programming. We are proud to announce the new AVGL high school program, backed by a myriad of colleges, influencers, and esports professionals. Up to $400,000 worth of scholarships, paid esports internships, content creator camps, and 50+ exclusive tournaments and events. We know the ropes, and after the experience granted to us through Intel Inspires, we're no longer tying knots, we're tying bows. Because esports isn't about skill, it's not about age, it's not even about experience, it's about attitude. And we at the AVGL are dedicated to bringing that attitude from the vault of the esports corporations and into your classroom. If there's one thing we've learned from a year at the forefront of collegiate esports, it's that professional gaming doesn't start with us. It starts with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the AVGL Collegiate Champions League Grand Finals weekend. I'm Junior BQ, and I'm joined alongside Twiggy. We've got Arizona versus Mizzou coming up, and a bit of a powerhouse matchup that we've got. Arizona's got Nudging, Gelgod, and Jojo Catch versus Mizzou, which you've probably seen around the Rocky League scene. It's Crims, Blanks, and Ethanol. Arizona going 6-1, seeding second in the Swiss stage, and Mizzou going 5-2, seeding at 7th. The players are all ready to go, but Twiggy, how are you doing? Are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm feeling great coming into this next game, and yeah, coming in through this, Mizzou actually took out their sister team, Mizzou Black, in the first round there, where they went on to beat Kent State 3-1. They're going to be coming up against, obviously, the Arizona Wildcats, who beat the University of South Carolina in the first round and just barely clinched a 3-2 victory against NKU in the round of 16. So, interesting game coming up. Obviously, both very, very skilled teams, and I'm definitely excited to see how these two play against each other.
Yeah, you've certainly heard the name Arizona Rocky League and also Mizzou Rocky League if you paid attention to the collegiate scene. Both these teams, heavy hitters. It's going to be a fun matchup, and we're hopping right into game number 1 right now as Blanks can take this up the wall, pinches it off the ceiling, but Nudging is better. I think that the rotation's a bit off, but no, Crims is able to get back in time. 10 seconds in, already seeing a great opportunity for both Mizzou and Arizona as Mizzou continues to barrel down the field. Great pass by Crims. No one's at the top of the box to receive it. Early fireworks to start off this quarterfinals matchup.
And we're seeing echoes of the earlier game we just saw with the attacking power coming through from both teams. They both want to get this first early opening goal, and you saw with Crims picking up that quick save there at the start that almost leaving the defense open for both teams. You can see both of them are getting these quick plays where they're bringing the ball forward, and that's brilliant there. Blanks finishing off a pass there from Crims as he takes it up the wall, and I think a bump came through somewhere as Jojo Cats tries to get up. No, it's Jelly tries to get up, but Crims bumps him out the way before anything can happen. A brilliant play from those two. Get that goal.
Yeah, Jojo Cats, I mean, what do you do there? You're straight on your goal line, and the person who's going up for it just can't do anything about that. It's a great goal, but it's equalized quickly as he's redeemed for his transgressions right there. 1-1 very quickly on. In the first minute of the game, we're already seeing both these teams succeed offensively.
Yeah, it turns out there is something you can do about it. You can score a goal right back at them within 5 seconds, and that's a brilliant way to do it. Yeah, a brilliant little answer to that question. But now it's 1-1 again, and all of the effort that Mizzou put into that first goal has now been taken away immediately by Arizona. They're going to try and get this one back now as they keep the pressure on against this Arizona defense now.
Crims just has to opt for the soft touch instead, just buy some time right now, but right now that time is fleeting as well. Here comes Arizona again off the backboard. It's another shot off the crossbar. It's not going to be finished. All 3 members committed for Arizona, and they've got to be frustrated. That one didn't go in, but the ceiling shot for nudging almost finds the back of the net. Arizona is on fire with the shooting, but they're not able to convert any of these opportunities at that 90 seconds in, and it's a miracle Arizona's not up by another one.
And this game is so quick. Everything's happening so fast. We're already 2 goals within the first minute. Everything's just coming through, and Jojo Cats is just going to find the back of the net off that air dribble. I'm not sure who flew past our screens there in the end. Oh, did touch the ball there, Crims, but just over it. Not able to find the clearance. It just touches down straight back onto Jojo Cats' car. And that's a great goal for them. They're going to feel really good about that one coming into this next round.
Yeah, 2-1, and off the back of a great shot by Jojo Cat, just a perfect read, but the game must go on, and Mizzou, while they did find that first one, they now need to bounce back. Arizona has been heating up and is not letting off this pressure at all. They started a little bit slow, but now they're back to top speed once again. 3 minutes left to go there. Arizona definitely wants to find at least one more goal. It's a bit of a miscommunication between Nudging and Jojo Cat, as really they just have to touch this jelly, just has to make sure that his teammates have time to get back. Really, no one's allowed to take any sort of breaks right now as Mizzou look to overwhelm the defense of Arizona. Another shot comes in from Choxic, but it doesn't find it. Nice redirect right there. Gives Crims an opportunity, but the shot is not strong enough to best the defense of Nudging. Arizona begin to break out. Right as we cross halftime, they're looking to find a third, and they've got the opportunities to do so.
Mizzou are trying to put on that attacking pressure, definitely. They've thrown a few shots down at the Arizona backboard, but Arizona aren't letting them get away with that one without a response, and they're coming back forward with this. Mizzou just can't get it out of their half now as Arizona keep this pressure up. 2 more people come through. Jelly comes out with a shot in the end, but Choxic is going to be able to get on the end of that one. Blanks takes it past 1, but it's going to be blocked there by Jojo Cat, and Nudging is going to take it round the corner, gets past 1, doesn't get past the second though. Yep, that 50 is going to go right in the way of Mizzou. Now the game is slowing down a little bit in the middle of the field.
Yeah, it is slowing down at the midfield, but they're trying to accelerate in their offensive third right now. 2-1, another dunk attempt by Nudging is really the game plan right now seems to be out of Arizona. Put the ball up high, force Mizzou to challenge early, then be on the other end of the 50 to make it more in your favor. But 90 seconds left for Arizona to hold on to this lead, and likewise Mizzou to bounce back and to get back into this advantage that they found themselves with at the early stages of this game. But right now, the opportunities have not been there for Mizzou in this latter half of the game. And Arizona, they continue to play strong on offense, controlling much more of the field than Mizzou is right now. And it's keeping this lead safe and secure right now.
Yeah, Arizona is just playing these long, cleared balls, and it must be frustrating for Mizzou that they're not really able to get as much control of the ball as they'd like. You know, they have to respond to that clear with clears of their own. Keep it back into the Arizona half, but by doing that, you're not really getting the fine control that you can of a dribble or a quick shot. Like one comes out there for Arizona, but Jojo Cats isn't going to find anything. Going to come forward here, try and touch it over, hits the crossbar, but nobody's there for the follow-up. Mizzou tries to get it away, but Jelly's just going to stop that from one from crossing the halfway line. Chucks are going to put it down, maybe for a pass, and the 50-50 comes out. Crims is going to try and stop that one, but everybody comes through. Nobody's in the defense for Arizona now, but it's going to slow down anyway. Nobody's got any boost. In the last 30 seconds now, Mizzou are going to try and have to make something happen here. So many 50-50s coming out. Arizona's not letting anything past their defense.
So far, the defense for Arizona has remained rock solid in the last half of this game, but now it's Mizzou taking it to Arizona, trying get every opportunity that they can on the board. Jelly's awkward. He's going to have to backflip. It's a redirect opportunity, but Blanks doesn't make contact. 3 seconds remain on the clock now, and Mizzou has one final opportunity. It is still doable. We still can't see a 0-second, but with that touch from nudging, Arizona take game number 1 in a much more confident fashion in that latter half of the game, and really the late game playing out well for Arizona here.
Yeah, absolutely. Arizona got those 2 early goals. After the Mizzou goal, immediately they answered back and then got that second goal, got that cushion, and then they just kind of played a little slower and kind of made sure that they weren't going to lose that one. And it's good play from them to adapt their play style to the scoreline that they were coming up against. That pressure was so immediate after losing that first goal, but when they responded back, they were able to just kind of turn it off, turn it back down, and be able to play more for boost and be able to kind of absorb pressure a lot better.
Yeah, 9 total shots coming out of Arizona. It's kind of a miracle that they only won by 1, but still, Mizzou, I mean, they had a great start to the game. They had the momentum flowing. They really, that bump play that we saw in the air just to get that first goal, incredibly strong showing. But Arizona, they rebuilt, kept up their walls, and they made sure that they got going here in game number 1. And well, Arizona find themselves with a game 1 victory, but they're going to have to do it twice more. Mizzou looking to not drop 2 games in a row. Certainly you do not want to put yourself in sweep territory against a team as dangerous, as potent as Arizona is, but they're already finding success on offense. Arizona is. They're keeping the ball down in this orange half, and they're not giving Mizzou a single second to breathe. That touch out to midfield just to alleviate some pressure, as really Mizzou haven't had any control in this first 30 seconds, and Arizona continue to play strong, continue to bounce back, and quite frankly continue to keep up this offensive momentum we saw at the end of game number 1.
Yeah, but with that cleared ball there and nobody able to deal with it quite as much as they would want to, you see it comes off the backboard here, and Nudging does try and clear it, but he just goes under the ball. Maybe goes up for it a little too early, and Choxic's going to be able to just tap that one into the back of the net. That's great. That's exactly what Mizzou want. Not exactly a skillful goal, but in the end, you take what you can get. By an inch or a mile, that is a goal, and they're winning this second game so far.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I didn't mean to throw it over to you, but it's quite frankly because I expected Nudging to hit that ball, and I didn't expect the shot to come in that strongly. But Arizona, they find themselves with space. No thanks, Crims is there instead. The brick wall to make sure an equalizer is not found within the first minute of having scored this advantage goal right now. It's nice passing play. Jelly off the crossbar. It doesn't find its way underneath the net. Right now, Arizona, they're starting to strike back. It's like they almost wait for Mizzou to go up before they start to show their full strength and potential on offense. Arizona doesn't find a goal off that opportunity, but there will be many more to come. And right now, Mizzou, this lead is not safe whatsoever. The double tap from Choxic. What a shot.
That angle was absolutely insane from Choxic. I think that's... Oh, that was maybe a meter off of the crossbar. He just puts it straight back in, and it's found perfectly, the goal there. I think that was that was about as tight an angle as you can score possibly there, and that's so good from Choxic, doubling down on the pressure that Mizzou have kept up this whole time, and Arizona are going to be hard-pressed to bring themselves back into this game with that pillow from Mizzou coming forward. They do put some shots out, and that one's going to find the back of the net. Jojo Katz is going to be able to convert that one after Mizzou spend too many players trying to clear this one away. Everybody floats down in front of goal, but as you commit too many people to that, it's going to be very difficult to come back into that one.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That triple commit essentially right there opens up the entire net for Arizona to shoot at. And still, like you said, a goal is a goal, whether by an inch or a mile. And 90 seconds into this game, Arizona are starting to fight back a little bit. But Mizzou still have that comfort of being 1 goal up. They don't have to panic because they got scored on, or at least they really shouldn't be right now. It's still bouncing in front of the top of the 18 right now as Mizzou trying to find a third goal here. Having a 2-goal lead is a whole lot safer in terms of confidence, in terms of momentum. But right now, Nudging's trying to take it away, equalize the scoreline, but they haven't done so thus far. The bump comes out, and Jojo Cat does so. Makes me eat my words. 2-2, Arizona equalizes.
Yeah, brilliant bump to begin with, but I didn't think it was going to come for anything. Jojo Katz there with a brilliant little flick up on the back of his car. Manages to find the top right corner of the net. Postage stamp goal that one was, and that's exactly what Arizona want to equalize this game up and really show Mizzou that they're still back in this game and they are still meaning business.
Yeah, that pass by Blanks just doesn't find its way safely over to Crims's car. We're about to cross that halfway point right there. It's a nice touch over. It doesn't find the back of the net, though. Instead, squirts up off that top waterfall. This could be a bit of a dangerous scenario for Arizona, but they handle it about as excellently as you can right now. They get it down to their opponent's half, they create some space, and they buy some time to go grab some boost and to create some more opportunities downfield. Mizzou is not letting up just yet. They still are equalized, but Mizzou, now having been scored on twice without an answer, they're going to need to find that answer soon, and Choxic might just find it. No, the bicycle kick off the goal line. Jelly can keep it out as best as he can. It's still in this blue half. Finally, Arizona will break out. I don't know how Mizzou didn't score that. Well, actually, I do. Jelly comes up as a brick wall.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a brilliant shot from downtown almost. He just flew in all the way through, and a little flick over, gets through the whole defense, and a shot's going to come through, and nobody is in goal, obviously. Getting past two players in defense, and I think somebody else on the other side of the pitch just wasn't able to get back in time with the amount of boost they had. Blanks is just going to be able to tap that one away. Very well played to get it past the Arizona defense and set it up for the backboard goal.
Yeah, if you beat one on the dribble, you've done your job, and if you beat two, you've done your job and more. And right now, Mizzou have exceeded in that regard so far as they find this advantage goal. But Arizona needs to bounce back. I mean, 90 seconds is still plenty of time to find one goal. The mind games coming out of Jojo Cat is maybe going to help out, but no, Jelly's shot stopped by Choxic. Just try to get this equalizing goal right now. They certainly don't want to rush the issue because they do have a little bit of breathing room and a little bit of comfort knowing that there is still plenty of time. But with each second that passes down, Mizzou start to get more and more confident they are going to take game number 2 off of Arizona. We can't call a victor just yet, but Arizona need a goal quick.
Yeah, Mizzou seem to be feeling a lot more comfortable than they were in this first game because you can see that their play is coming out a little more. Oh, why did I say that? Why did I say that? Jelly comes through from the midfield and just slams it past two of the Mizzou defenders. Maybe I should stop talking about how people are feeling comfortable because Blanks is just not able to get up to that one in time. 126 kilometers an hour, it's just going to find the back of the net quite easily there.
And the Mizzou defender surely thought that Jelly was going to be shooting that, but no, he flips his car around at the last minute, hits it off his hood, and makes sure that it just flies right to the loving bumper of Jojo Cat. As now 50 seconds left to go. Arizona equalize once more, and Mizzou suddenly in the hot seat right now. Will they succumb to the heat, or will they begin to become more fireproof? Another pass out middle, but it's stopped away. Jelly will be the one to save it, but Crims is coming back again. Looking for an air dribble right here. Does touch it over the defense, but Jelly's there to back up his teammate. Ready to get that backboard touch. Choxic swoops in again. They're not able to find it off that opportunity, but this pressure from Mizzou has been unrelenting so far. That is, until Arizona can break them out. Choxic just has to put this into his corner. He's the only one back. He has to wait for his teammates, and right now he's doing well to hold on with whatever space he has, but this Arizona offense is unrelenting right now. It feels like they're building up to find the goal, but Mizzou do break out. Long shot's going to come downfield. It's not going to find somebody who can actually take a shot with it. Crims will keep it out, prevent the 0-second goal. Jelly looks to keep it up, though. Is going to be able to keep it up on the sidewall. It's awkward. It's bouncing off the ceiling. It's a nice touchdown. Can he get to it in time? Yes, he can! We see another 0-second goal as Arizona go all the way around. The passing play is immaculate. Arizona take game number 2.
How does that not hit the ground? I could swear that was already touching the ground, but he finds it just as it's about to touch there. And almost hitting the ground before it hits the goal as well. And that's just about as close as you can get. Arizona is stealing that one out of the jaws of Mizzou there. Oh, that must feel terrible for Mizzou. They were looking so good coming into overtime. They were thinking, okay, well, we're in overtime. We can do this one. We've scored all of the early goals coming into these. You know, they scored the first goal and the second goal. Then they scored that third one to equalize it, but then, oh god, Arizona had just stolen that one away with that last goal, and ouch, that's going to be really tough actually coming into the third game for Mizzou here.
Yeah, we were talking about how Mizzou was bouncing back. They had the advantage early. They gave up a 2-0 lead. They did manage to equalize and send us to an overtime position at 3-3. But Arizona had no intentions of going to overtime. It was like they were playing with their food. They got a 0-second goal. Absolutely a nail to the heart of Mizzou right now as Arizona put themselves on match point as they take game number 2 away with daylight robbery.
Yeah, they're going to be feeling really good coming into this third game because it's not like they've dominated any game. They've only won each game by 1 goal, but in the end, that's all you need. And now that they've come into this with a 2-0, victory, not yet, a 2-0 lead over Mizzou, That's so good for them because it just kind of takes off the pressure. You know, when you win a set in tennis and you might have been like 1 point down, and now you are all the way ahead, and it's, you know, back to 0-0. They have to try again now, Mizzou, to even make anything happen to get that first point on the board.
Yeah, and the opening set it's going to be oh so crucial. Arizona bringing the heat as always, and Jojo Cat will step up. His touch will be touched all the way back down towards the back corner of the field. Crims with the soft touch. It looks like he wanted to take possession, but just didn't have the boost to work with. Jojo Cat's, his shot goes wide of the top corner. 30 seconds in, already seeing some fireworks. What a shot by Choxic.
Yeah, that's just going to pinch off the two players that come forward. Not sure whether that was intentional. Yeah, no, nudging just gets in front of it in a perfect way to slam it back onto Choxic's car into the top right corner. Completely unintentional, I feel like, but a great block from Choxic either way to stop the clearance coming out, and it's come out as a goal for them. And again, we're seeing a repetition of what's happened in the first and second games with Mizzou coming out with that early goal. Can Arizona respond?
Yeah, Mizzou's going to have to hold on in the late game because Arizona likes to play in the clutch or in the crunch time. 45 seconds in, Mizzou already has the advantage, but it's a story we know all too well. You don't want to give up that early goal, but also it's not the worst of things because Arizona has proven that they are a formidable opponent in the late game, more so than in the early game. Now, Choxic's going to step up. He's got some boost to work with. End up just giving over possession, letting this ball fly into the blue corner, doing whatever they can. Somehow he's taken up possession right now. It's a flick and a missed side flip as this continues to get more and more awkward. Blanks' shot saved away by Jojo Cats. Again, it's getting close. It's getting incredibly close to a Mizzou second goal. They're going to need to find it before Arizona can stabilize. And right now, Mizzou, their pressure is good, but their shooting is not as accurate as they would like.
Yeah, Mizzou were doing so well in that last passage of play to just keep the boost away from Arizona. You could see that everybody was just sat in the goal waiting for a shot to come out with no boost. But Mizzou need to be able to convert those opportunities because when you control the boost, you need to control the shots. Blank with a good clear, not too difficult for him, and they're going to get that one away. But yeah, they really need to they need to get this cushion goal.
Yeah, this lead is certainly not safe. Choxic's going to be able to take possession right now, just try to dribble the ball out. One thing we're seeing a lot of Mizzou do is they're just dribbling the ball out and they're buying space, but then there's no hope for finding something off the back of the space that's created. And it puts them in this awkward spot when it works out to perfection, but whenever they create the space and no one's there, it really hurts to watch for Mizzou because they're continuing to take these shots. They're just not able to find the goals that they need to put themselves in a more comfortable spot. Now we're about to cross halftime. Mizzou continue on with the advantage, but this is also when we see Arizona heat up a little bit. It's when we watch them get these incredible goals that have carried them all the way over to this 2-0 scoreline. Mizzou's going to have to keep up this pressure. Their defense is going to have to continue to hold rock solid because Arizona, if you give them too much space, if you give them too much energy, they're going to take it every day of the week.
Yeah, Mizzou have been looking defensively solid so far, but Jelly's just going to tap that one off of the backboard, finish it off of the, I think, a demo of Crims there because he overcommitted a little too far there, and nobody was back for that one. Choxic almost getting in the way, but Jelly takes it onto the backboard before he scores it, and that's going to completely throw off Choxic's attempt at saving that one. And Arizona are back in it. I couldn't help but feel worried for Mizzou after they scored that first goal, that Arizona were going to come back into it because they've done it time and time again now. They've done it again, and that's it's just history's repeating itself now for Mizzou.
Yeah, Crims looking to take this advantage once again. He's going to put it off the backboard, but he's got no boost to follow up. Blanks can step in. Crims steals it away as he comes off the top of the goal. 2-1. Mizzou step up, and they get the advantage late in the game number 3.
Almost saving that one, Crims coming off of the back there, but manages to matrix dodge his car in the correct direction to let the ball go in. That's great from Mizzou. That's great because we haven't really seen that. Ooh, what has happened there? We haven't really seen that happen so far. That's just going to go be easily in. I'm not sure what happened off the kickoff there, but it's just fallen straight for Arizona, and Blanks has kind of just missed the ball, maybe faked out by Jojo Cat's approach. Oh dear, why do I say things that are positive towards a team that has just got a comfort goal? It's back to a 2-2.
Yeah, it's just part of the caster curse. The longer we cast, the more and more we're going to indirectly influence the outcome of the game. Mizzou has found themselves equalized at the scoreline once again, and you can only feel like Arizona can equalize so many times before Mizzou finally crumbles and is not able to maintain that pressure. But so far, 90 seconds left. Mizzou is holding on, but they don't look as speedy as they did earlier on in the game. Blanks is going to take up the possession down into the corner. It's a nice passing play. It looks like Choxic backflipped right there at the top of the box. A prime pass, but not the prime setup, unfortunately. Closing in on that 60-second mark, looking like we're headed to overtime, but if last game is anything to show, it means that we are definitely not safe from determining a victor by the end of this game. 60 seconds or less left. Gonna have to keep up this pressure. Right now, no one really taking control of their opponent's attacking third, and, oh, no goals have been found because of it.
Yeah, Mizzou are trying to get things happening, but the defense from Arizona is so solid, they're cutting out anything before a pass can even be made. Looks just going to make a little interception in the middle there, but demos are coming out. Dojo Cats gets the dribble. Ooh, the 50-50 comes out favorably, but an accidental backflip is going to cut out that attack. And now it's all up to Mizzou to get this one away. Jelly's going to get it past 1 and 2, but the little pull shot to clear that one away is going to stop that. Yeah, both teams are really just vying for control of the game here. Crim's going to take it off into the corner and push it forward into the box, but Nudging's going to be able to clear that one away as well. Everybody just keeping up their defense now.
Yeah, Mizzou is showing up, and they're going to have probably the final opportunity downfield. Crims is going to take a shot, but he doesn't find contact. It's again off the corner. Mizzou looking to do their best impression. Nudging saves it on the goal line. It's still alive, but no, it's going to hit the ground eventually. Overtime between Arizona and Mizzou in game number 3. If Arizona scores the next goal, they move on in the quarterfinals upper bracket. If Mizzou is the one to lose, then they will drop to the losers bracket. Early start for Arizona right now as they're keeping it down in their opponent's corner. It's off the crossbar. Beautiful save by Choxic to keep that one out, but the follow-up is too strong. Nudging with the precision and power. 3-2, Arizona win.
Wow. You really can't help but feel bad for Mizzou with that one. It's a kind of, it's a 2 health bar situation, isn't it? You've just got the boss down to half health. Every round they came into that one, they scored the first goal, but as you just get the boss down to half health, they come back reinvigorated. A second form of Arizona comes out, and they are able to just get those goals back, and every time they've just got more than Mizzou and won the game, and it's just so disheartening if you're able to get that first goal and open up scoring, and then just suddenly Arizona is impenetrable, and you're left in the dirt.
Yeah, absolutely. You do not want to be left in that kind of a heartbreaking state, because Arizona and Mizzou, each and every one of these games was close, and it came down to the wire. So far down to the wire where Arizona scored a 0-second goal to put themselves on match point. When it comes down to the wire over and over and over again, your team is just not able to push it across that finish line. It's incredibly disheartening, but they can't put their heads down. They cannot falter and say, like, that's it, we can't play, because they're still alive in the lower bracket. Mizzou will be moving on in the losers, and Arizona to continue on the winners. The momentum has to continue on for both these teams, but Mizzou, it's hard to see how they'll bounce back after such a heartbreaking finish to that series.
Yeah, but you know what's not so hard to see is the quality of the products at esportcertified.com. That was brilliant. It's a new gaming gear destination exclusively for college and university students, specializing in a wide assortment of PC gaming gear, headsets, mice, keyboards, and more. Shop today's top brands, including Razer, HyperX, and Rig, all at epic savings. Visit today at www.esportcertified.com.
Yes, shout out to Esports Certified for being the sponsors of this event, and also shout out to Twiggy for the greatest segue in human history. But we're going to go take a break before the next round of games. We've got more matches coming up your way. You're not going to want to miss it. See you guys in a bit.
In 2020, we interrupted your regularly scheduled programming to bring you $250,000 worth of scholarships through Intel Inspires. Now, in 2021, we are the regularly scheduled programming. We are proud to announce the new AVGL high school program, backed by a myriad of colleges, influencers, and esports professionals. Up to $400,000 worth of scholarships, paid esports internships, content creator camps, and 50+ exclusive tournaments and events. We know the ropes, and after the experience granted to us through Intel Inspires, we're no longer tying knots, we're tying bows. Because esports isn't about skill, it's not about age, it's not even about experience, it's about attitude. And we at the AVGL are dedicated to bringing that attitude from the vault of the esports corporations and into your classroom. If there's one thing we've learned from a year at the forefront of collegiate esports, it's that professional gaming doesn't start with us. It starts with you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the AVGL Collegiate Champions League Finals weekend. I'm joined alongside Twiggy as now we have two more matches to show on stream, and we're starting off with the first semifinal. It's going to be Arizona versus UCF. Twiggy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm really looking forward to this next game. We've seen a good few games coming through up into the semifinals of the upper bracket here, and yeah, Arizona we just saw coming off a 3-0 victory to Mizzou. They're going to be up against the UCF Knights, who also just came off of a 3-0 victory, this time to Florida Poly. And obviously Arizona here are the highest seed. We just watched them, and they were second in a Swiss format, whereas UCF finished 11th. So looking like the favourites coming into this one, but I'm excited to see how they both do.
You know, in a perfect double elimination bracket, you don't expect a team seeded as low as UCF to make it this far, but they have defied all odds, and they've made it all the way into the winners' semifinals, and they're facing off against an incredibly formidable opponent, Wasi, Rooney, and Bambi on the UCF side, and then we're going against the Arizona team we just saw in Nudging, Jelly, and JoJo Cats. It's going to be a tough one, but if UCF has made it this far, why not keep taking steps towards the grand finals? Regardless, it's going to be a fun matchup. It's going to be a lot of intense rocking. Once you get this deep in the bracket, only the best can survive, and it's cutthroat until the very end. Arizona and UCF looking to put on some fireworks here in the first game of the series as soon as we get started. How are you feeling about this one? Do you have any predictions moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Arizona are looking like the better team coming to this one just based off of the Swiss format results, but we saw they didn't have the easiest win coming up against Mizzou. It was 3-0, but Mizzou took the first goal in every game, and they did look like they were coming back for a victory in most games. However, Arizona were able to clinch out each game, and so they are looking like the favorites, but they are not indestructible. They can be beaten.
Yeah, absolutely. Any game can be won or lost. It's kind of the beauty of this game in general. But UCF, they're looking to take it to Arizona right now. An early opportunity by Snipes. That's saved by Jelly. Early shots, not able to find the back of them. And here comes Nudging with the mind game, trying to essentially just nudge the ball past the defense and force the issue and make UCF panic a little bit. But no panicking so far. Arizona continue playing strong with their offense, and UCF continue playing strong with their defense in those first 30 seconds.
Yeah, both teams doing well to kind of try and absorb pressure and keep attacks on. And obviously Arizona looking there for the first goal, but UCF Knights also trying to get their scoring opening. But it's staying mostly in the middle now. Both teams playing a little defensively, keeping one man back to try and defend any shots. Nudging putting through a great shot there onto goal, and nobody was there for that one, but it bounces off the backboard, and UCF are left to pick up the pieces quite easily. Takes it past two there, but it's not going to get past Nudging, and Nudging's going to clear that one away.
Yeah, UCF starting to have some offense show up a little bit in the terms of its Snipes and the, I can't read the third player's name, but Arizona, I mean, their offense has worked, so has UCF's offense. It's been a little bit back and forth across for both of these teams. Bits is trying to find a pass out middle. The net's opened up. It's off the crossbar, and it bounces out an inch further in. It would have been the opener for UCF, but they aren't able to find it. Pass comes back out center. Snipes is going to be on the other end of it and buries it home. Great offensive pressure for UCF as they take the opener.
Yeah, that first shot obviously very difficult. The angle to score that one was very difficult, but Nudging coming off the wall there, not able to save that second goal. But this is a mirror of what we've seen in in all three games we've seen from Arizona so far, taking that first goal against them. So, JoJo Cats was looking for that first shot, but he was completely blocked there. And UCF Knights are going to be able to keep up that pressure, hopefully keep that up for the whole game.
Yeah, absolutely. They certainly want to keep up this pressure for as long as they can. And as we cross that 90-second mark into the last 3 minutes of this game, UCF is looking to continue this advantage. We do know that Arizona likes to start off a little bit slow and accelerate as the game goes on. But right now, there's no signs of acceleration right now for Arizona as UCF continue to put the ball down the field, and it's right on the goal line. Incredibly awkward. Somehow that one's pinched away, and, well, UCF stopped again at the goal line, and here come Arizona. Maybe looking to find their first opportunity so far in this game. They won't be able to find it right now. Nudging will keep this over on the sidewall. Snipes puts it down on the goal line, just trying to keep it in the corner, keep something working, but no, nothing's found just yet. Jelly with a long clear that's stopped at midfield, and the offense for UCF, specifically the midfield control, has been unrelenting so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I was expecting to see Arizona come a little hotter off of the kickoff after that first goal. They're looking a little awkward against UCF right now, and UCF are on fire. They're keeping up that pressure. They're stopping any attacking opportunities from coming through, and it seems like everybody is able to clear up those shots. But that's a brilliant shot off of the crossbar. Unsavable, I feel like, as it bounces down on the goal line. Once again, as I comment on the defense of a team. Goal was scored, but nobody was ever going to save that one.
Yeah, those upper 90 shots, I mean, that's about as top corner as you can shoot that ball in the first place. It bounces on the goal line, so incredibly difficult to read. But UCF is coming back in with a vengeance. They say, hey, we're not going to go down without a fight. They're about to find the second as it's unluckily touched by Arizona, but Bambi will be the benefactor. 2-1, UCF retake the advantage.
Yeah, UCF, they weren't happy with that last goal, and it's bounced off the crossbar right onto Nudging, who's in an unfortunate position. That's unfortunate for Arizona, but a lucky goal off of a somewhat lucky goal on the other side. So, back to 2-1. UCF Knights are back in front. Dojo Cats has something to say about that. Tries to get the flip reset. I don't think all four tires touch that one, so he doesn't get it. And the 50-50s come through. UCF Knights come away with possession there.
Close opportunity for Arizona. They're down on the UCF attacking third. And, well, right now, I mean, it's incredibly close between these two teams. We would expect nothing less at this stage of the bracket. But Arizona, they're continuing to ramp up the pressure, ramp up the pace. And right now, UCF are hanging on. It's a question of how long can they hang on, or rather, will they continue to hang on given the amount of pressure Arizona seems to be putting on with these midfield challenges.
Yeah, absolutely. UCF are kind of putting on an intimidating face right now as they push forward here. And Arizona are actually kind of buckling under pressure. We've seen some demos come out from the UCF Knights to keep Arizona at bay, maybe keep their boost a little lower. You can see bumps coming through there as they try and just block defense. That's a little nice flick from Bambi onto the crossbar there, but Nudging's going to put it away. They're going to be able to clear it past Bits here.
Yeah, it's a nice 50 by Jelly that doesn't find its way under the crossbar, but surely that would have been a highlight from this series already. We're reaching the final 50 seconds of the game, where for Arizona, we know they like to play in the late game, but now, if we were to look up late game in the dictionary, it would be a screenshot of this game. It is as late as it gets. You've got to find a goal soon if you want to go up in this series, and right now, 30 seconds remain to equalize the scoreline. Snipes is going to take the dribble, ends up just letting Jojo Cats get a touch on that, opts for possession instead. Bambi will look for a pass down middle. Bits comes in, but he's not able to find the touch past Jelly. Now 20 seconds remaining, and Nudging beats one on the sidewall, but can't find the bump on the second to maybe open up some space. Time's ticking down. It really is crunch time right now, and UCF Knights have the advantage. And Arizona looking to bounce back, but they're not finding the opportunities, nor the space, nor really the opportunities to get the goals that they need. The ball will hit the ground. UCF will take game number one off the back of a pretty strong late game performance against a late game team like Arizona.
Yeah, absolutely. The problem with leaving a game so late is that you can run the risk of not being able to score a goal in time before the end of the game, and obviously UCF Florida were keeping up that pressure the whole way through, and they were able to just keep the pressure on long enough that there was no response from Arizona there. And yeah, that's the first time we've seen a game taken away from Arizona, and they've done so well. But it seemed like they were learning from all of the mistakes of the previous team to play against Arizona there, and just kind of soaking up pressure after they scored that second goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Soaking up pressure and just making sure that they continue to apply this offensive scheme that seems to be working right now against Arizona. We'd be foolish to think that Arizona isn't going to make changes after a loss in that fashion. But UCF, they've come out right now with the better game plan. They start off this series 1-0, and it's in a pretty good spot at that. Now, Arizona, we know they can be an incredibly dangerous team. We shouldn't count them out one bit. And we're hopping into game number 2, where while UCF do have the advantage, you certainly cannot expect Arizona to become complacent right now in the semifinals, the winners semifinals at that of this AVGL tournament that they've played for 7 weeks already to qualify for.
Yeah, they're certainly not going to take that lying down. I know we've seen they can be a very aggressive team when they are provoked in the way of a team scoring a goal, so I don't know how it would be in the case of a team winning a game against them. Maybe they're going to turn up the pressure a little more in this one. But right now, things are quite slow. Everybody's low on boost. Everybody's just trying to keep possession, get some 50s one. Nudging's going to take it over one and get the bump, and oh my god, everybody's just fallen backwards and not been able to find the ball there, and Nudging's just taken it past one. He got the bump on that. What happened here? Oh, just maybe not enough boost to get all the way back behind the other ball, and it's not going to be saved. Arizona going to get the first goal within 50 seconds there.
Yeah, it looked like Snipes wanted to go near post, but wasn't expecting that to control back to far post. It ends up in the way that it does, and now, well, first 45 seconds of the game, Arizona showing, hey, we're not just a late game team, we're also an early game team, and we're going to come at you and not let you beat us twice so early. Snipes keeping it over here on the ceiling. It's a nice touch by Bambi. Just opens up a lot of space, a lot of time. It's off the backboard, tough touch, but no, Nudging's able to get it out. Snipes will be able to keep control right here around the midfield area. It's a touchdown as this ball is really contesting at the midfield line. It's not really floating in the blue half, nor is it flying towards the orange half. 3:40 left on the clock, and well, the time's ticking down, and Arizona feeling good about the lead that they have, but they certainly cannot remain complacent right now.
No, only a one-goal lead can be difficult to maintain, and UCF are going to try and show that off here as they keep the pressure on, try and stop any clears coming out from Arizona. And Jelly going to push that one forward, but Snipes is on the wall to stop that one from happening, and the 50-50 comes out again. Joe's going to get the demo on bits, but without the ball in their half, that's going to be mightily useless, but they push it forward there. It's going to be stuck up in the middle of the field, a little pass down. Gets put onto the crossbar by Nudging. It's still up in the air. Nothing's going to come of this one, I don't think. Yeah, it's going to die right in the corner.
Yeah, this ball continues in the corner. Finally, Nudging will break them out and take a long shot. The third man's not rotated back. It's 2-0. Arizona steal one away as well, but it's off the back of a great counterattack.
Yeah, absolutely. A slight maybe defensive mistake from the third player there. Obviously, Bambi didn't have enough boost to get back. Got the half flip over, but couldn't quite get under the ball in time to stop that one from going in the goal. And the third player just sat on the other side of the pitch, maybe going for boost for a second attack. Wasn't ready for the counter-attack shot there.
I think if you're UCF right now, you've got to stop remembering the game one win that you just had. I mean, now it's 2-0. You've got to come back and double the amount that you would like to right now. And while as we're about to cross halftime, I think that in a sense you have to forget the game one victory in a sense of just like, you've got to remember that, hey, we are good enough to beat this team. We've proved that in game number one, but we have to forget that we're up and we have to play this series like it's 0-0. And the scoreline is also likewise 0-0. But unfortunately, Arizona playing the better game right now. And well, Bambi can control on the crossbar. It'll be a nice touchdown that Nudging gets a little bit of an awkward hit. Certainly confused the defense, but UCF Knights, they continue to press on. They continue to apply this offense. The problem is turning the ball inside that golden rectangle that so far they haven't been able to do anything with.
Yeah, absolutely. Arizona have really just turned up the clinicality of their game right now, and they're just not making as many mistakes as they did in that first game to allow UCF Knights to get the 2 goals. But now UCF Knights are really trying to turn up the pressure. You can see Arizona is slowly starting to show a little bit of weakness. You know, it's getting through to their backboard. And UCF Knights are getting those prolonged kind of moments of pressure that they need to keep up to be able to score a goal. And that's exactly what they do. Snipes is going to snipe the goal there from the left side. He's absolutely finding the perfect angle to get it past all of the defenders there.
No one was ready for Snipes to be that close in proximity to the play. Normally, you have a little bit more spacing between the attacking players, but no, Snipes positions himself perfect for that. It's a little bit of a gamble play, but it ends up working out for him. He bets on black, and it works, and Snipes puts it top corner as he's absolutely having himself an MVP performance in this last minute.
Yeah, Snipes has turned up immediately, and with 2 goals in about 5 seconds there, that's going to put them back in the game completely, and we're seeing a complete reverse of what we saw from Arizona last series, where UCF are the team that are coming back now.
Yeah, 2-2, game continues on. UCF have come back, and they're proving to be a little bit stronger in the late game right now, which is a sentence I didn't think we would say against a team of the likes of Arizona. But so far, UCF bouncing back, proving to be a formidable opponent. And right now, 60 seconds left to send them to overtime. I feel like if you're Arizona, you've got to win this one in regular time, because UCF right now has all of the momentum and the pendulum is swinging in their favor. It's a nice touch by Snipes, puts it over the defender. It's looking for the hat trick, but no, he can't find it. Bambi's touch not enough to put it back. 50 seconds remaining now on the clock, and while UCF, they've tied up the game, they cannot remain complacent. They have to continue pressing forward. It's exactly what they do, but it's off the crossbar again. Nudging keeps it out off the goal line. 36 seconds remaining. Arizona are surviving by the skin of their own teeth, and instead of just surviving, they are thriving. Jojo Cats takes the advantage with 30 seconds left.
Yeah, it's a brilliant demo onto Bambi there to clear up any kind of stoppage of the pass there, and the pass goes straight through, perfectly placed to put it into the top left, and it's very difficult for Bits to get anything behind that one.
30 seconds remain on this clock, and the Arizona already have midfield boost control. It squeezes out towards the crossbar, or rather the goal line. 20 seconds left to go. UCF need a goal quick. That's going to be touched away by Jelly, as Snipes isn't able to put that one in as easily as some of the other ones have seemed. Time's ticking down. We're really in the waning seconds of this game, and UCF will have one, maybe two more opportunities to not go down to 1-1 in this series. 3 seconds now. Possession remains for UCF. They keep it in the corner. It's bouncing, but Nudging will be able to keep it out. Bits to keep it alive. It's not going to find the back of the net. The ball touches the ground, and Arizona, they equalize the series at 1-1.
Yeah, great there from Arizona, getting those first 2 goals, and even when faced with the comeback of UCF, they were able to get that last goal with a good play and a good demo, and that's exactly what they needed to get back into this one. It's going to make them feel real good about themselves, because not only did they get those first 2 goals and show that what they were made of, but they also showed the adversity to be able to come back after UCF tried to stake their own comeback.
Yeah, UCF had a bit of a scary comeback right there, specifically Snipes, who was doing a lion's share of the work in terms of getting the goals that register on the scoreboard. I mean, that was 2 goals in very quick succession. If that happened to me, I would be scared out of my mind. But I think that just shows the composure of Arizona, realizing that, hey, Snipes just popped off for a second. We can still continue to play our game plan. We can continue to assert our dominance onto our opponents because we are the better team in this. We just got to give it a little bit of time so that we can continue moving forward and continue putting ourselves on a path to victory in this series.
Yeah, now Arizona are going to be feeling really good coming into this next game in the series because they've got that little bit of a momentum. It's not like they've scored a lot of goals in a row, but they did just score that last goal right at the end. And going into this one, they're going to want to keep up that pressure as much as they can. Nudging's already going for it with the air dribble, takes it past one, off the backboard, tries to pinch it down, and it's just bounces on the goal line, not quite going in. UCF getting away with daylight murder there, and they're going to be able to push that back forward now.
Oh my gosh, that double tap from Nudging just felt like it was supposed to go in, but that wasn't what the script read. 30 seconds in, we've already seen a brilliant shot that just did not find it in. It's going to come down to capitalizing on opportunities, and right now, those opportunities can be shut down by as little as the inches left on the crossbar. Possession by Snipes right now, just to keep it over here on this right-hand side. It'll squeeze over to Bambi, who will find a touch on it, keep it down in the corner, make sure that his team has some space to work with, has some offense to come home to, I guess. But right now, they're just not able to keep up this consistent pressure. Arizona is so far succeeding at every opportunity to break out, and right now, it's working out.
Yeah, Arizona are keeping up that pressure, and although UCF Knights are trying to get back into this one, keep putting these balls onto the backboard, and they're not able to follow them up. The second player isn't always there to start a shot or be able to get anything there, but nobody's in the Arizona goal. And Bambi's going to be caught completely. Bambi's going to take that shot, and Jojo Cat's doing a little backflip there, maybe not wanting to double commit with his teammate, and Jelly's just not in the right place to deal with that.
Yeah, early start for UCF. They exploit the poor rotation out of Arizona. It ends up working out in their favor. Now it's 1-0 right now, and UCF so far have a strong game. But right now, Arizona, they want to change that narrative right now because Arizona, we know they're a late game team, but they also want to prove that they are a formidable opponent moving forward into potentially the winners finals. They're going to have to keep up this pressure and this possession, but right now Arizona bouncing back, looking to play a little bit stronger than what we've seen in the past. Their game plan looks a little bit more solid after the UCF goal. But right now they've got to continue up this pace, this energy, this experience that they have shown in the late game because UCF give them so many opportunities, they're going to take it. That comes off the back of a booming clear from UCF. I don't know how he got that much power on it.
Yeah, I think a little pinch off of there, and the backboard shot almost coming off the angle of his car, not quite getting there to finish that one off, and another shot comes in, but it's weak, and Nudging's going to be able to get rid of that one as well. UCF are really putting on this pressure now, and they really want to show what they're capable of against the second seed. Coming into this, it's slowed down in their own half. They're dealing with it nicely. Bambi's going to try and clear this one. The 50-50 goes in his favor. Pushing it into the corner, it's going to bounce into the middle for Bits to try and shoot, not finding anything, and Snipe's follow-up shot is going to find all 3 cars on the Arizona defense.
Yeah, Arizona wants to find a goal quick because right now the momentum is in their favor. They won't be able to string any possession together right now. In the orange half, a beautiful shot by Bambi off the redirect means UCF has a more comfortable lead.
Yeah, Bits putting a great ball up there, and Bambi is just able to oh, it pinches off of the defense there. But that's perfect for him. I think it was going onto the backboard without the assistance there from, I think it was Jojo Cats who went up to contest that one.
215, beautiful shot by UCF. It's a little bit easier to swallow for them right now because, well, they've got themselves a little bit of a comfortable lead right now. Now, Arizona definitely is continuing to play strong, but UCF right now, I mean, the shooting has been immaculate right now, and it's really carrying them forward in these games. Well, quite frankly, if you shoot better, odds are you will be winning the game. 2-0, less than 2 to go. Jelly's looking to put in the first for Arizona, but Snipes comes off the crossbar and saves it before it can be any danger to the Arizona or the UCF defense.
And UCF are carrying this one forward. They're going to try and keep up the pressure that they've built up in the first 3 minutes of this game. They push it forward, and Arizona are trying to clear it, but they don't have the men to keep that one in the UCF half. And he's going to come up with it. Air dribble is going to be stopped by Jelly. He's going to touch it down to Nudging. It's past one, just about. Falls to Jojo Cats. You have to deal with this one defensively. Shadow defense comes through, and he's able to just about stop that. But yeah, everything for Arizona seems to be coming through, just not quite how they want it. Really unfortunate for them because they are making the attacks, they're just not being able to convert those goals.
Yeah, and a beautiful pass play over to Snipes, who's the one to put it off of Bambi's pass home. 3-0, again, selfless play, baits out the initial jump from Nudging. 3-0, UCF look incredibly dominant right now in this game, not just in terms of the fact that they have a 3-0 victory, but also all of the offensive control has namely been in their regard. I mean, UCF has been putting on as much pressure as they can, kept their foot on the gas for the entirety of this series. Bambi looking for a bit of an ambitious flip reset that doesn't have any sort of impact. The pinch plays coming out between Bits and Bambi, not able to convert. Now it's a one-on-one between Jojo Cat. He's looking for the flip reset. He's not able to find it. Snipes, his defense incredibly strong, playing well. These UCF Knights players are popping off right now, and Arizona have no answer to the overflowing carbonation that has become of UCF.
Yeah, UCF are keeping up both their defense and their attack, and look at that, that's a brilliant little clearance from Bambi just to keep it away from Arizona, make them have to deal with something defensively so that they can't stage an attack. With 15 seconds left, they need to stage an attack right now to even have a chance of scoring any more goals, and as Bambi goes for that double touch, it's not likely that Arizona are going to get anything out of this game, and they know it. So that's going to be 2-1 in the series to UCF Knights, and a brilliant, well-played game from them there, almost flawless.
Yeah, absolutely. Putting in 3 goals, not conceding a single one. UCF playing strong. Namely, I think it's Bambi and Snipes who are really stepping up right now. We say their names a lot, but that's because they're having so much impact in the midfield and in the offensive third. So far, so good for UCF. They put themselves on match point, but Arizona, we can't count them out just yet. We've seen how strong they are. We know they're a late game team. Maybe they're a late series team as well, but UCF definitely in the driver's seat right now, controlling the pace, controlling the speed of play, and right now it's really killing Arizona right now.
Yeah, and really the problem for Arizona is going to be a mental one right now because they are the second highest seeded team coming out of that Swiss format. And they've got to be feeling bad that they're losing 2-1 now to the the 9th seeded team out of that format. And even if they do win this one, it's going to be a 3-2 series. Going into the winners finals as the 2nd seed team, having almost lost there to the 9th seed team, is going to be hard on them, so that they really need to show it as exactly what they're capable of in these last 2 games. If not, UCF are going to be feeling great having beaten them going into the winners finals.
It's It's the winner's final or bust right now for both of these teams. There is the lower bracket, obviously, but you want to keep your chances going for as long as possible. And right now, UCF playing, they're showing that they are the better team right now. They're going to have to keep up this momentum. They're going to have to keep up the pace because, well, quite frankly, right now, they've got everything to play for regardless of whether they think that or not. Because one game and UCF moves on into the winner's final, and one game or two games and Arizona moves on instead. So UCF looking to start off strong, looking to bounce back into this, but Arizona has a lot to prove right now, and they certainly don't want to let anything get in their way of sending us to a game number 5.
Yeah, and they're already starting off strong with the pressure coming out straight onto the backboard of the Arizona. And Arizona are going to have to deal with this one strongly by getting a demo and then trying to clear it away, but it's going to be stopped by Snipes. Snipes going to try and take it past one. The little assistance coming in there from Bits isn't going to quite find anything. It's going to go into the corner, but nobody's really getting rid of this one for Arizona, and the attack is going to be slow, but it gets off the backboard once. Jojo Cats just slightly misses the goal there, sends it a bit high. It's going to go off the backboard, and now UCF Knights are back in the driver's seat. Jelly is going to push this one forward, try and get it off the backboard, goes for the double touch, doesn't quite find it, but Nudging is there already to finish that one off. Nobody on the UCF Knights is going to be able to defend that one. Great from Arizona to start off this game in the first minute.
Yeah, the pressure right now is suffocating for Arizona. They just don't let UCF get any room to breathe, and they just continue the onslaught, shot after shot after shot. Eventually, one of them has to go in, and Arizona makes sure to, well, that it doesn't go in after like the 9th or 10th shot. It's like the 3rd or 4th. So a quick goal found for Arizona early on in this game as they're looking to essentially have a watered-down version of a reverse sweep, but that starts right now, making sure that their play is as strong as possible. Jelly intercepting the pass that was surely destined for somebody towards the top of the blue box, and he'll look for the ceiling shot instead. Comes in for the shot, stopped by Bits. Didn't have the height nor the velocity to make it over the defenders there. Crossing that 90-second mark right now, and UCF right now are playing strong, but they are down a goal, and that's cause for concern and something they'll need to adjust and, well, fix moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely, but all the pressure is really on Arizona coming into the series here, because the name of the game for them is going to be defense coming into this one, because now they're 1 goal up. They've got that little bit of confidence going into that, but they can't get carried away with it though, because losing this game is a death sentence for them. They'll be pushed down into the lower bracket. They really need to keep up this defense, even though they want to get all these goals and maybe get a cushion for their team.
Yeah, we're under that 3-minute mark now where Arizona continue to have this advantage. And right now, they're not letting UCF cross that half-field line at all. They're containing this pressure all of the time. UCF gets once out of their own half, and Snipes almost finds a goal off the back of it. Now Bits will step up, keep it off the ceiling waterfall. Awkward for the defender to deal with, and Snipes steps up, equalizes the scoreline at 1-1.
A lovely 3-man play. Bambi drops it down to Bits, who puts it onto the backboard. Jelly's left in no man's land in the goal line and almost gets up to that ball, but Snipes has the height advantage on that one and just slams it down into the bottom of the goal. Nothing he can do about that one, and now it's 1-1, and UCF Knights are looking great as we cross the halfway line of this game.
Yeah, 1-1. Jelly finds an incredibly acute angle, and Arizona puts in the advantage almost immediately afterwards. 2:30 left on the clock, and Jelly puts as much power on that as he can. Arizona, they retake the lead, and they're looking good. They're able to bounce back off, well, the UCF equalizer that just came through. Now, the question is, can they keep up this pace? Can they keep things going? Because, quite frankly, we haven't seen that so far out of Arizona.
Ooh, but although they do get that little clearance, and Bits is hard-pressed to get that one away. He does get it onto the post in the end, but yeah, maybe Arizona need to have learned from that mistake they made in leaving the defense open a little bit on that first equalizer from UCF Knights. Coming into the second one, getting that second goal. Now they need to repeat that, but not give up that goal. Another shot coming in from Bambi there is going to be saved by Jelly, and the pressure is coming out from UCF now. You really want to get the second goal back and close out this series as quickly as they can.
Yeah, obviously you want to finish off the series with as much energy left to go as you can. You don't want to just have it tire you out emotionally for longer than you have to. Right now, UCF still find themselves down, but they have the game advantage. Arizona so far, their offense playing a whole lot better. You couldn't tell that by the stint of offense that you've seen out of UCF right now, where Arizona has found themselves on their back foot for a little bit, as well, UCF are looking to tie this game up at 2-2. And a minute 20 left to go on the clock. Mitz is going to be able to clear this out, but Jelly is so ready for that. Pre-jumps it perfectly, gets it out of contention for a counter attack. And as we're about to reach the 60-second mark, Arizona is playing well. They're playing strong, but, well, right now they need to continue bringing on that pressure because I don't think 2 goals wins this game. I think you got to find a third or else, well, UCF are in prime position to come back.
Yeah, exactly. There's something to be said about UCF. They don't look exactly panicked, even though they're a goal down right now. It looks like they're playing still solidly. I say that as they double commit to the ball and leave the defense wide open. Nudging is going to be able to capitalize off that one. Look at this, the bump coming through accidentally. Maybe a little lapse in communication there just leaves everything wide open, and Nudging's going to take advantage of that one. And as you said, that third goal is really going to help Arizona try and equalize up this series score.
I just felt like that it's exactly like what you said. It was a lapse in communication, double commit at midfield, leaves only one man back at most. And, well, now Arizona have themselves a 1-goal, make it a 2-goal, make it a 3-goal lead. Arizona, the offense coming alive, and whether or not UCF have just decided to prepare for the next one or not, Arizona primed to win game number 4.
Yeah, only 37 seconds left, and with 3 goals to go, UCF Knights are looking a little down and out on this one, but they've still got it all to play for. It's a best-of-5 series, and they've already won 2 games, so it's all good. So they're going to keep going here, but obviously very difficult for them to do anything in this game, and yeah, putting all the attacking pressure on. We almost saw another goal there from Nudging as the defense was left wide open, and I think UCF have kind of laid this game to rest as they the defense is not coming through completely from them now.
Yeah, Arizona has not only proved that the defense of UCF is not coming through, but also they've shown that the offense is immaculate right now. I mean, just about every opportunity that Arizona has gotten, that was a real scoreable opportunity they've been able to convert. And, well, comes up with a 4-1 scoreline. Looks like they want to keep the ball up, maybe put in a 5th, dodge the confidence just a little bit for UCF, but it doesn't really matter. The ball does hit the ground right inside the 6-yard box. And Arizona, they put themselves in game number 5 potential. Rather, they have sent us to game number 5, and, well, UCF, we need to see some more of that same fire that we saw earlier on in the series, because right now, Arizona are bouncing back, and they're not just bouncing a little bit up, they're bouncing all the way straight up into the sky.
Yeah, UCF definitely did play well there, but Arizona really showed what they were made of, and we saw some glimpses of exactly the kind of quality we saw in the last series, where they won 3-0, and, you know, that's exactly what Arizona need. Again, you know, they've just come back on that one. It's now 2-2 in this series. They really need to close this one out now, and they've got that little bit of momentum, scoring 3 goals in a row off that game. So it's exactly what they want. Now they just need to close it out for themselves, and maybe UCF's lack of defense for a ride here.
Yeah, UCF's defense is making us ask a lot of questions right now, as really Arizona have stepped up and are playing into their game plan that they want to 4 people at the corner of the 6-yard box. It'll get cleared away. Incredibly awkward, though, but that doesn't really matter so long as no goal comes through. Arizona just looked to be playing really, really collected, really calm. And UCF, it just feels like they play a lot more streaky, a lot more offensively panicky, if that is actually a real English word. But it's 0-0, 30 seconds in. Arizona are trying to take this away from UCF in game number 5, where UCF has had the advantage, but Arizona has proved to be the better team in these last couple of games.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've already seen 2 scrappy defenses from UCF Knights, but their attack is still on point. I was going to say they were looking a little frenzied, but now they've scored that goal. That's 1-0 to them. This is exactly what they want. They just need to finish off this game like that.
You know, I don't mean to throw you into an awkward spot, Schwiggy, but I feel like this happens more times than normally. I mean, it feels like I kind of expected them to be able to clear that out, but no, it just bounces so awkwardly. UCF does well to capitalize on the opportunity they're granted over, and now they find themselves in the driver's seat of this game. They're fighting from the high ground, and they're going to fight from even higher up as Snipes puts it as far post as he can and finds a second to best Arizona.
Yeah, UCF has really turned up to 11 now. That's 2 goals in the first minute of the game, and just about as wide as it could be without going out off the post there. So that's perfect from them. Now Arizona are really going to feel the pressure.
Yeah, UCF got to continue on with this, though. I think that you cannot become complacent this early into the series. It's a nice flick by Jelly just to put it up high and burn out as much boost as you can. The opportunity by Bambi. I didn't think he would go for that again, but he does. They're almost freestyling right now as they're trying to just break open as much space as they can, and Jelly is doing everything he can to keep it out of the back of the net, but this opens up the pack line. I say that as Bambi swoops in and demos Jojo Cat before any damage could be done to the defense of UCF. Crossing that 90-second mark, and Arizona, they're not exactly playing as we've seen them before.
Yeah, exactly. Arizona look a little panicky now in defense, and even in attack, they're whiffing some of their shots now. And UCF have already showed what they're capable of in the attack now. Arizona need to try and match that kind of pressure. They're not finding anything yet, and more shots are coming through from UCF. Another one off the backboard. Not going to find anything. There's already 2 people forward now, and he's going to carry this one. Jelly just gets stopped by Snipes there. He's going to tip it onto the backboard. But where's the defense from Arizona? Only one person back. If Bits had that on target, it might have gone in.
Yeah, there might have only been one man back, but it was, well, probably the best possible option. What happened was, well, the best path, and that's why these players are at this level. They're in the winter semifinals, is just because, well, quite frankly, they're at the best level they can be at given the scenario. Now, there's less than half the game to go now, and UCF, they have the advantage right now, but Arizona seems to be knocking on the door as they start to come alive, as they start to get these opportunities, and UCF looking a bit overexcited as they're starting to double commit and throw comms out the window. Dangerous stuff moving forward if they continue to give this kind of leeway over to Arizona.
Yeah, it's really easy to get excited when you're winning 2-0 against such a high-level team, especially. And oh, there it is. There's the opening goal for Arizona there. A little pass through in, just kind of finds, yeah, 2 people kind of commit to that ball. Nudging takes it past the last man, and Joe's going to finish that one off for free. And that's what Arizona won. It's good from them. They need another one of those.
Yeah, they need one more goal to equalize. And UCF, I mean, this is a story they've read several times already. They somehow give away the ball on the kickoff and grant possession over to Arizona. Shot by Nudging. It's towards the top corner, but Bambi's there to save the day, clear it away, make sure everything is all right. And that camp Snipes extends the deficit, rather the advantage for UCF, back up to 2 goals.
Yeah. Jojo Cat stops that one, but the 50-50 comes through, and Jelly just takes a tiny bit too long to start going for that ball. Doesn't quite find the height he needs to block that one. UCF Knights have got back that cushion they had before now. That's good for them. 2 minutes left. They need to hold on to this one. They can't be conceding goals like they did before. Don't get carried away. Don't take your opponent for granted here, because we know they can score these easy goals.
Yeah, you cannot give Arizona anything here. In fact, I think if you're UCF, I think you got to find one more just to be safe. I mean, why not find 2 more? You got to keep your foot on the gas. Arizona right now is on the back foot. Continue building that hill, building that mountain for Arizona to climb. You know, make the trek a little bit more dangerous for them. Now, Arizona continue on with the ball, and this is certainly a comebackable score. I mean, there's still 90 seconds to go. Jojo Cats is looking for a bit of a double tap, but doesn't find it just yet. You can see Arizona's committed all 3 members forward, and probably to their detriment. No, I thought Jojo Cats was going to get back. UCF find a 4th now.
Yeah, Arizona committed way too hard to that ball, and maybe they thought Jojo Cats was back in time, as you said, but he's just not able to get the right angle on the ball in time, and that's really, really looking dire now for Arizona. 3 goals down with 1 minute 13 left to go. It's going to be difficult for them to come back on.
Yeah, a minute left, and UCF have full control over this series. Arizona needs to continue on, and not just continue on, but start thriving on offense. It's something we haven't seen from them so far this game, but we know that they have it in them. Now, 60 seconds, and UCF are feeling confident. How do you break down that confidence? Well, Bits might just find a double tap right here. They're just not even giving them any room to breathe. Right now, UCF are trying to find a 5th, and Arizona, they're not expecting this to happen. They're expecting UCF to kind of sit back, park the bus just a little bit, but UCF's not doing any of that. They're just continuing to apply this pressure, continuing to move downfield. 30 seconds left, and they're still trying to score a 5th right now. And, well, Arizona don't seem to have an answer for this insane offensive performance that we're seeing out of UCF in Game 5.
Yeah, absolutely. It really does seem to be working for UCF, keeping that pressure on. And even though they are keeping that pressure, it seems like as soon as Arizona get the ball back, there are people ready to deal with it. And look at that clearance there from Bits. So good from them, and they're just going to keep up this. Bambi takes it past Jojo Cats once here, but gets back in a good defensive position, but that's it. The game is over. 3-goal lead coming into the last second, and that'll be it for UCF. A brilliant game from them to close that one out 3, winning that third game, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. We were wondering where some of the energy was for UCF towards the middle part of that series, but it just turns out they were saving it for that game number 5, and they came in with all of the pressure and pace that you can ask for. They continued to take shots even when they were up, continued to essentially just kick Arizona while they were down, didn't give them any space to expand out to find offensive opportunities, and because of that, well, they find themselves with a Game 5 victory over an incredibly strong Arizona team. UCF, they see themselves heading on into the winner's final.
Yeah, exactly, and in the way that Mizzou just didn't last round, UCF have kind of found Arizona's Achilles heel after getting that first goal. You know, we saw that Arizona like playing that counter-attacking play later on in the game, trying to get those goals back, but UCF didn't allow that. They kind of, even if Arizona did score that first goal, UCF kind of went, okay, right, we're going to keep up the pressure now, we're going to keep you in your defensive half, and we're not going to let you get anything on our goal. And in that way, it really worked out for them. It's the way we saw Mizzou take some games back against Arizona, and UCF have really used that to their advantage to win that whole series.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, UCF just came into game number 5 with the better game plan. It ends up working out for them. UCF will be moving on to the winners finals, and then I believe that Arizona will be moving down into the losers finals. With that being said, that's the end of this matchup between UCF and Arizona, but we still have one more semifinals on the cards for you all. We've got Northwood versus UNC Charlotte to see who is going to meet UCF in the winners finals. We're going to take a quick break to get that match set up, but you are not going to want to go anywhere. We'll be right back.
In 2020, we interrupted your regularly scheduled programming to bring you $250,000 worth of scholarships through Intel Inspires. Now, in 2021, we are the regularly scheduled programming. We are proud to announce the new AVGL high school program, backed by a myriad of colleges, influencers, and esports professionals. Up to $400,000 worth of scholarships, paid esports internships, content creator camps, and 50+ exclusive tournaments and events. We know the ropes, and after the experience granted to us through Intel Inspires, we're no longer tying knots, we're tying bows. Because esports isn't about skill, it's not about age, it's not even about experience, it's about attitude. And we at the AVGL are dedicated to bringing that attitude from the vault of the esports corporations and into your classroom. If there's one thing we've learned from a year at the forefront of collegiate esports, it's that professional gaming doesn't start with us. It starts with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the AVGL Collegiate Champions League Grand Final weekend. We just watched UCF take down Arizona in game number 5, making sure that they are moving on into the winners finals. But we still have one more match to show for you guys, and that is going to be Northwood versus UNC Charlotte, two powerhouses of the Collegiate Rocket League scene. I'm joined here by Twiggy, as we're going to be your guides here for this final match of the day. Twiggy, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here. As usual, we've seen a lot of great games coming into this one. This next one, UNC Charlotte just came off a 3-2 game, a difficult game against Durham. Northwood University winning out against Richard Stockton, who we saw earlier today, 3-1. This should be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Northwood are one of the powerhouses of this scene. It's going to see how well they can perform against UNC Charlotte right now. They've had a relatively easy bracket so far, going 3-0, 3-1, and 3-1 to meet UNC Charlotte. At this spot, Pirates is going to find the opener right now off the back of a misplay from Alpha Giddy.
Yeah, a brilliant little block there from Nooks to get that up into the air for Pirates, and Pirates just takes a brilliant little touch off that one to get it under the defense from UNC Charlotte. It's a brilliant opener within 20 seconds there.
Yeah, Noxus is bouncing back again and gets one off the kickoff. 2 goals found for Northwood in incredibly quick succession. Daffy just looks like he wasn't ready for that kind of a touch to come in that quickly. Sorry.
That is exactly what you want in the first 30 seconds of a game from Northwood there. They've taken 2 goals immediately and looking like they are probably starting as they mean to go on with that one, putting UNC Charlotte on the back foot immediately.
Strong start for Northwood as they keep possession right here on the backboard, just not letting UNC Charlotte have any sort of space. Pirates is going to touch it down, but that's going to be cleared away by Don. As UNC Charlotte, I mean, it's a rough start. The question is now, how do you bounce back? How do you take, look, we've gotten scored on by Northwood twice in 4 minutes, make that 3 goals in 1 minute as well. Northwood are putting on a show.
Apparently you don't bounce back. A brilliant pass there from Pirates to Noxes to get that the link up that we saw earlier, the reverse of that one. It's 3-0 now, and it's just domination within the first 50 seconds.
Absolutely, the domination is coming out of Northwood. It's a beautiful save by Noxes off the backboard. As right now, Pirates is coming off the goal line. It's like Northwood right now is playing on a completely different plane of existence right now, and so far UNC Charlotte has yet to transcend to that yet. But there's still plenty of time left for them to bounce back, to get back into this, but they're going to need to start changing up their game plan, because right now Northwood are exploiting every avenue that they can find, and UNC Charlotte is not exactly the benefactor when Northwood starts popping off. Yeah,
and we're seeing now why Northwood is really the first seed coming out of that Swiss format, and wow, they're just looking so good. There's not really a break in their defense whatsoever. Even when they had that shot on target, UNC, it got past 2, but it didn't get past the last man, who was just on the goal line. They're keeping up the pressure still. Nothing, even when they have no boost, not giving up yet, and it's just brilliant to see how much pressure they can apply without even giving up on defense.
UNC Charlotte in complete control of this series right now. Noxes is going to make it 4 after a lofty shot that beats the defense. Northwood, 4 goals in 2 minutes. If Northwood can do it, so can UNC Charlotte, but Northwood just has an absolute lock on everything that's going on in this game.
They're looking completely unbreakable right now, already 4 goals, and they haven't even looked like they're going to concede a goal. Even when that shot did come through, it didn't look like they were panicking to get to it. They weren't rushing around getting to it. Every 50-50 it seems like they're winning, and they're just really keeping it in the UNC Charlotte half. They almost put another one in front of goal there for a shot. Pirates is going to keep up the pressure, hits it off the backboard with a little pinch, and Noxes almost finishes that one off as well. They're keeping so much pressure on. This is it's incredibly difficult for UNC Charlotte to get anything out of this.
Yeah, and UNC Charlotte is not only in this scenario, I mean, they got to this stage of the bracket off a relatively dominant run down through the, I guess, the upper side of the bracket, being in Indiana, Oakland, and Durham Lords. Now they find themselves down by 4 in game number 1, where Northwood have shown up and just decide we're going to put in every goal that we can. It's a tough start for Northwood, but UNC Charlotte got here for a reason. There's so much reason to believe that they can bounce back. They're going to find a shot on target, but Don's not able to do anything with that. Another follow-up comes off the backboard. Touch is going to float down, but no, it's not enough. And again, it's a breakaway for Northwood, as UNC Charlotte just right now can't catch a break.
Yeah, UNC Charlotte are the 4th seed coming into this one, so it's not like they don't have any quality in their team. We shouldn't really be seeing a pub stomping like we're seeing here, and Northwood are really putting on the pressure so much that UNC Charlotte just can't really deal with it. And they haven't found a reply to Northwood's attacks yet in this game. Maybe they can find an opening right now, because they're running out of time to get all of these goals back now.
Either they decide right now that they're going to score 4 goals in 90 seconds and they try to equalize, or you just sit back, you play a pretty conservative game, and you wait to see what happens to Northwood if they get overconfident, if they rest on their laurels too much. Because right now, Northwood have come out and have no reason to believe that they're not going to win this game. I mean, right now they're out here freestyling, and they haven't been punished for it just yet. A nice shot will rain in for UNC Charlotte. But I guess the best way to describe this last 4 minutes has just been absolute domination, as Noxus pre-jumps that aerial to get up for it. Less than a minute to go, and Northwood are absolutely playing out of their minds.
Yeah, it seems like Northwood are completely predicting everything UNC Charlotte are going to do, and UNC Charlotte cannot stop that one. A little quick double touch off the backboard coming off an accidental pass through from the UNC Charlotte player there. Maybe not, his teammates don't have enough boost to get up to that one. They didn't go for the ball at all after that double touch, so maybe just a little bit of miscommunication from those guys, and it's just fallen straight to him, and they've really just a dagger in the back of UNC Charlotte with that finish.
Yeah, whatever winner's bracket run that UNC Charlotte has had up until this point is immediately soured by the pace that Northwood is providing. 30 seconds remaining. Don's going to look for some kind of a confidence booster moving forward, but that one will be tucked away by Pirates. 25 seconds left to go, and I mean, look at Noxus just pre-jumping off the sidewall. The confidence is overflowing right now for Northwood, and UNC Charlotte aren't seeing a drop of that in their own camp. Soft touch by Alpha. He won't be able to find it. Pirates nets a 6. This game is done and dusted.
Absolutely. I feel like it was done and dusted quite a lot earlier, even seeing how everything was being played, and UNC Charlotte are just having such trouble dealing with all of the pressure that Northwood are putting on that they can't even help themselves but be able to only parry it straight back into Northwood's attacks.
Yeah, absolutely. 10 seconds remaining, and Northwood's going to have complete control. They're going to win this game. It's 1-0 in favor of Northwood. If Northwood continues this momentum into games number 2 and 3, UNC Charlotte is not going to have a good time. They're even looking for a 7th here. They'll put it over the defense. It's like they hit the score button and the tally goes up 7-0 at 0 seconds. UNC Charlotte dropped game number 1. I guess rather Northwood absolutely pummel UNC Charlotte in game number 1 and take, well, a 1-0 advantage.
Really didn't seem like they even had to try from the beginning to the end. They had no holes in their defense. They had so much attacking power. Nox has got over 1,000 points in that game, and I think that was more than 15 shots coming out from the team combined. So absolutely insane from those guys, and they just didn't give UNC Charlotte even a glimpse at winning that game.
And the craziest part about it is, like you said, they had over 15 shots. The fact that they're even close to having 50% shooting accuracy in terms of, or I guess scoring accuracy, off the back of that kind of offensive pressure is absolutely incredible. It's a 1-0 start from Northwood, but really I have a lot of questions for UNC Charlotte and when they're going to start, because surely they score a goal sometime soon. Hopefully they could come out with some fire and take it to Northwood in this game number 2. But Daffy, Alpha, Giddy, and Don, I mean, how are they going to get something done? Are they going to just crumble underneath this pressure that Northwood continues to apply? Or is Charlotte going to step up? Are they going to start to work their game plan and find some goals and maybe find a leg in for this series?
I mean, yeah, the thing is, we know UNC Charlotte are not a bad team. They're the 4th seed in this. They've won a lot of games coming into this thing, and they've won all their games up to this point in the tournament itself. So it's not like they can't win against these guys. It's just there's such a gap in the way they're playing that I think UNC Charlotte really needs to stop trying to absorb all their pressure and just start trying to counter-attack these, get goals of their own, maybe go for a more pressureful game.
Absolutely. And normally I talk about like the holes that UNC Charlotte would be able to exploit or the opportunities that they're not able to convert on. But quite frankly, I don't see any holes in the camp of Northwood. UNC Charlotte just seemed like they were Swiss cheese out there. Meanwhile, well, Northwood looked like a block of marble. I don't know how UNC Charlotte's going to get back into this, but we can only hope for the most entertaining of games right now as well. UNC Charlotte, something has to change moving forward in this series if they even want to leg up in this series.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Northwood are just looking so almost perfect coming out there. I didn't really see any mistakes coming out from them, and there were so many interplays between the teammates that it must be looking really, really dire for like daunting actually for UNC Charlotte to get back into this one. It's all about the mental game at this point. I think they really need to just shake off, brush off that loss, and really get into this next game really reinvigorated. It's still 0-0. You can still win this one. They still have 3 more games to come back. They need to try and get as much as they can out of them.
Yeah, absolutely. We're just waiting for this game to get underway. It looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties as soon as we get started. Oh, never mind. It looks like we're coming up right now as quickly as we can. But we've got game number 2 on our hands. Northwood is, well, starting off strong again, starting down in their opponent's half. It's going to be off the crossbar. Nice save by Alpha just to alleviate some of that pressure. But against Northwood, there is no alleviating the pressure. It is one constant onslaught. At least that's what we've seen in game number 1. Can Northwood continue up this pressure? Will they succumb? Will UNC Charlotte get back into it? We'll just have to wait and see. But the passing plays already coming through from Northwood certainly do not bode well for UNC Charlotte.
We're seeing a little more defensive, they seem a little more put together, UNC Charlotte, with their defense. Northwood, I can see actually whiffing a couple of shots, so maybe they've got a little bit complacent coming into this one. A little backwards pass from UNC Charlotte puts Northwood on the back foot. They get it onto the backboard. This is much more promising from UNC Charlotte.
Yeah, absolutely. Just even being on offense and having these opportunities, making Northwood scramble just a little bit is something to applaud. I mean, UNC Charlotte, they're bouncing back. We asked them to fix some plot holes that they had, and right now they're doing that and even more. They haven't found that goal yet, which is oh so crucial. The first goal of any series can be incredibly daunting, and right now Northwood continue to hold them scoreless, not to mention they're still on offense, barreling down the throats of UNC Charlotte, trying to find the leg up first before UNC Charlotte can gain the confidence they need. It's off the crossbar. It's not going to find the back of the net, and the follow-up for Noxus will be saved away by Daffy. Pirates keeping it out towards the top of the box, looking for the double tap, but it's not able to find it. UNC Charlotte survive another day, but how many more days are there left in this series? Not that many. Northwood have to continue to apply this pressure, as we know they will, and UNC Charlotte have to continue to hold on.
Yeah, I feel bad for taking this as a positive for UNC Charlotte, but at this point in the last game, they were down 3 or 4 goals now, so the fact that they've held on this long at a 0-0 scoreline is impressive against Northwood. They are trying to put on pressure now. They have kept it in their half for a little bit. Noxus misses the ball there. 2 people miss the ball there. They have a little bit of an open goal. Pirates is just there to be able to defend it, and that slower attack, everybody is able to get back all the way, and the counter-attack is on. Ooh, just stopping that little backboard touch there from Pirates. Pirates is going to try and put it back in the middle, just misses that one. And they're going to be able to clear this one, UNC Charlotte, and keep that pressure on that they want to keep all the way through. They've got through half of the game now. It's just another half. You need to score 1 goal, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. It is a positive for UNC Charlotte to not go down early, but still, Northwood continue to apply the pressure, and UNC Charlotte, they're holding on. The pressure is not getting to them just yet, but one of these shots by Northwood is going to go in. It's going to be a matter of how they deal with it afterwards. It's off the crossbar. Thought I was about to eat my words right there, as it seems like whenever we say something, the opposite happens, but possession remains for Northwood as they keep the ball down in the orange half and really give no space over to UNC Charlotte. But that's not to mention the fact that this scoreline is still 0-0, and UNC Charlotte are continuing to hold on regardless of the fact of how many shots Northwood is taking. UNC Charlotte is still alive in game number 2.
Yeah, Northwood seem to have taken their foot off the accelerator, or the gas even, and they seem to be taking it a little slower than usual, which is giving UNC Charlotte a little more opportunities to at least defend things, but ooh, you need to keep people back there. Noxus gets it through, almost finds the goal. Nobody's quite there to finish it. Oh, that's a brilliant little fake. I'm not sure if it was intentional there, but Ambrosia is able to finish that one off of a little fake shot there from Pirates. It looks like everybody is just caught off a little off guard, turning round. Ambrosia's just going to be able to finish that one, a nice little tapped shot into the top right, and Northwood have now opened this game up 3.5 minutes in.
If that's a fake, that is a brilliant call by Pirates or Ambrosia to recognize the fact that all three members of UNC Charlotte are grounded right now and they have no chance to get up for this ball. If it's not, it's just a great shot of Ambrosia. He's pulling his weight, and even more, they found the goal and the leg up. It's another shot in by Noxus. That's not going to find the back of the net. Ricochets off the post once more, but Pirates keeps possession too, putting it towards the top of the 6. No one's home, rather no offensive player there to help them out. Northwood still have the advantage on against UNC Charlotte here in game number 2, but Northwood, certainly this is not a comfortable lead, and UNC Charlotte have the potential to come back in this.
Yeah, Northwood have opened the floodgates, but they haven't started the flood quite yet. They're only 1 goal up, which is a uncomfortable situation for them for sure. And as UNC Charlotte try and stage a comeback here, tries to hit it off the backboard. They're not even going to let them get to the backboard, but Noxus has to pull off an impressive acrobatic save there to stop that shot from going through. And UNC Charlotte are looking good in these counterattacks. They're getting them past at least 1 or 2 of the Northwood defenders, and it's all down to just one person usually now to keep this one out of the goal. But Noxus is going to get this attack back on. Northwood are going to relieve a bit of pressure with 20 seconds left to go. UNC Charlotte really have to make a push now. Finish this one off.
Yeah, closing on that 10-second mark. Time is ticking down, and still UNC Charlotte have not scored yet this series. They've got one final opportunity if they can steal this away from Ambrosia, but he's setting himself up for the double tap off the backboard. It's going to float once again above the 6. They'll try to keep the ball up for as long as possible, but Northwood are still barreling in off the backboard. Once more, the follow-up from Ambrosia, 2-0 on the scoreline for Game 2 for Northwood, but also 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, absolutely. That's now 8-0 overall for Northwood, and although we saw the attacking prowess of Northwood in the last game, we really saw the defensive prowess of Northwood in that game. They really soaked up pressure and just stopped. You know, it looked like more like a Northwood were kind of taking it a little less seriously, but in the end, I think more what was going on was that they were just playing more defensively and just trying to stop any goals from happening on their end of the field. Just stop UNC Charlotte from being able to get any sight in on goal. I feel like, yeah, part of the mental game now for UNC Charlotte is the fact that they've stopped being able to find anything at all, and the whole point is to keep them completely out of this game and stop them from running away with it.
No, absolutely. I mean, UNC Charlotte, they definitely had a better game there, had some opportunities on offense. They just weren't able to convert and capitalize when they honestly needed to. And well, Northwood, they put themselves in sweep territory. Now, UNC Charlotte, that last game looked a whole lot more hopeful in terms of the amount of shots they were getting, the pressure they were applying. The problem is that we're now in game number 3. Northwood find themselves in sweep potential right now, and UNC Charlotte have yet to score a goal.
Yeah, it's looking like it might be a perfect sweep for Northwood if UNC Charlotte don't turn up the pressure now. They really need to turn it on as soon as possible, and Duffy's going to push forward here, try and get it onto his teammates. But Northwood are just not letting it past the midway line. It looks like they're going for a more attacking game again today, as they just double tuck fed off. Don is not quite able to make the save all the way out. It goes back onto Noxus, and Noxus is just going to be able to finish that one off, putting his car in a beautiful position to be able to stop any kind of save that comes through there. And Northwood is starting out this game like they did the first game.
Absolute incredible stuff from Noxus. What an angle to find that double tap early on. Looking like remnants of game number 1, where it's just pressure continues to be pressed on by Northwood. But here comes Daffy, shot towards the net, blocked away by Pirates, keeps it away. We're all cheering on for UNC Charlotte to score a goal in this series, to not go into this series perfectly defeated. But right now, Northwood are playing out of their minds. They are playing incredible, and UNC Charlotte just haven't been able to match the pace and the pressure that Northwood has been able to apply as well.
Yeah, Northwood may be coming out of that last game thinking 2 goals isn't enough. We didn't do enough that game. That wasn't good enough. We need to come back into this game with a lot more attacking power, and UNC Charlotte almost scores their first goal, but it's not quite going to find the back of the net. Ambrosia's going to be there, but they're a little disjointed in defense. This is when you can score your goal, UNC Charlotte. They are running out of boost. Oh no, Northwood's going to run away with it. Noxus gets on top of the ball, and he's just going to try and guide it all the way in, but doesn't quite find it. And now UNC Charlotte are on the back foot again.
Yeah, 90 seconds in, Northwood continue on with their advantage, and UNC Charlotte just have no answer to the question that is Northwood right now. As Northwood continues to apply offensive pressure, and well, quite frankly, if game number 1 was offensive dominance and game number 2 was defensive prowess. One thing I'm already noticing out of Northwood is just midfield control against UNC Charlotte. They're not letting UNC Charlotte cross that midfield line, and they're controlling the boost to perfection right now. Now the question is, can they keep up this pressure? Will UNC start to find some answers and stuff? But right now, Northwood playing incredible. They're even pre-jumping these, looking for double taps off of freestyle-esque plays. Fact of the matter is, right now, Northwood hold on to the advantage, and because of that, control the outcome of this game. It's a long shot towards the post, knocks his own goals. Don finds the opener for UNC Charlotte as they finally equalize.
I said earlier whether by an inch or a mile. That is, I think that's the smallest inch I can think of there. An own goal getting you your first goal in the series, but UNC Charlotte need to now build off of that. They need to try and take some momentum off of that own goal and try and make something happen for themselves. Northwood are looking a little less serious coming into this game.
Yeah, it's a bit of a silly goal that knocks his own goals, but the fact of the matter is that UNC Charlotte, I mean, that equalized the scoreline for them, and it gives them some confidence moving forward. Daffy almost puts one in, just unable to find it off the back of that. Nice touch, falls down to Pirates. This is not a scenario that you go into thinking, oh, this will be easy. Thankfully, it's tucked away, knocked away, but right now, here comes UNC Charlotte again. Alphagiddy with another shot, and right now the defense is holding on solid for Northwood, as quite frankly, they have mastered breaking out of this offensive spurts that UNC Charlotte find them in, and well, Northwood looking to take the series in 3 right now, looking to find another goal soon.
Yeah, UNC Charlotte seem to have taken that goal in stride, though. They are keeping on a bit more of an attacking pressure than we'd want to see, but that clearance is not going to find anything but Ambrosia's car. And they'll smack that back in. A little weak clearance there, and left up in the air, no chance to get on the back of that. Alpha's left in the back, not being able to pick up on that one as quickly as possible, and Northwood are now back up into the lead with 1 minute and 44 seconds left to go.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Don wanted to flip into that ball, but double jumped instead. And you know what? That happens. That's just how the cookie crumbles occasionally. But you can't give that over to Northwood. It's going to be a heartbreaking goal that's scored on UNC Charlotte. But so far, like you said, they've been taking it in stride right now. They continue to remain on offense. They're continuing this pressure. And, well, really, they're taking it to Northwood here in game number 3 for the first time for what we've seen in this entire series. Now, that's not to mention the fact that Northwood have continued to hold on and are playing resiliently. UNC Charlotte look a whole lot better in game number 3 than they have in games number 1 and 2 so far.
Yeah, absolutely. We even saw... Whoa, wow. Nox's comes off with a little 50 there that just bounces off the top of the car there. And yeah, I mean, it's just a great interception to get it off. And, you see those from time to time. There's no shot for the defense to do anything about that. Northwood are now 2 goals up with 1 minute left. I was about to say UNC Charlotte, you know, we saw their first demo from them coming out this game, and you know, it seems like they're really trying some different things against Northwood now that they've got that first goal, but in the end Northwood just seems like an impassable wall now.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tall feat at the least. A great save by Don, though, prevents the 4th goal from being saved as UNC Charlotte regroup in their own half. They've got 40 seconds to find 2. It's 20 seconds a goal, roughly, if my math is correct. But they've already burned a quarter of that, and they haven't found a goal just yet. UNC Charlotte find themselves with 30 seconds left in potentially their winner's bracket or life right now. And right now, I mean, Northwood, they just look like they're pre-jumping everything, freestyling, and it doesn't look like they're going into this like try-harding. It looks like they're just having fun at this point, and that's a scary sight at that.
Yeah, they're going for clips at this point, it looks like, and the open defense is going to let UNC Charlotte get back into this one. With 10 seconds left and only a 1-goal deficit now, it is possible for them to retake this one, and Pirates, actually very awkward for them. Maybe that wasn't really them being silly, it was just the fact that it was a very awkward little bounce down from the top of the goal back down into the face of the goal, and UNC Charlotte really do take that in their stride. They're going to take out Nox's and go for a quick goal off of kickoff here, but Pirates is there to stop that one, and I don't think it's going to happen. That is going to be it, unfortunately, for UNC Charlotte. That is going to be the game for them. Oh! Pirates had to stop it again, and the final nail in the coffin, almost scoring that last goal. But Northwood, a pretty dominant series from them there.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we have to talk about dominance, I think that the performance that Northwood just put on is the absolute definition of that. I mean, UNC Charlotte had opportunities. They were working their way down the field. The core problem wasn't working the ball down the field. It was just the fact that Northwood never gave them anything to work off of. There were so few mistakes made, so little opportunities for UNC Charlotte to capitalize. One of the goals that UNC Charlotte did find in this entire series was off the back of a Knox's own goal, which it happens, but still, that shows you just how close or how far away, I guess, Northwood was playing compared to, well, UNC Charlotte.
Yeah, absolutely. They just seemed completely dominant. It was absolutely insane from them, and we can really see why they're the #1 seed on this one. And yeah, as we see here, look, Knox is coming through. The play from Knox's was so good this whole series. I think getting over 1,000 points in a couple of those games there, and especially on this one, the interplay between Pirates and Knox's was so good. Everything, it seemed like, from Northwood just went their way.
Yeah, absolutely. It just seemed like if it could go right, it did go right for Northwood, and they just took it away, all the way away from UNC Charlotte. Northwood put on an absolute show, and we'll be moving on in the winners bracket final. I believe they'll be going up to play UCF, and if Northwood's going to bring this kind of performance against UNC Charlotte, they are going to be a scary team, not just against UCF, but for the rest of this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just so insane to see the kind of quality that Northwood have. I've looked up a few of their previous games in like UCL tournaments, and it's just, I mean, this is the kind of thing you expect to see from the highest level of Collegiate Rocket League. It's mind blowing the difference here between even the 4th seed and the 1st seed in a tournament like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Northwood proving why they're the 1 seed in this tournament based off the back of that game so far. Northwood with a very dominant path moving forward into the winners final. They will be facing off against UCF. But speaking of the bracket, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the bracket so you guys can see the matches that we have on display tomorrow. We've got UCF versus Northwood to start us all off. And then also we've got some more on the cards for you guys. We've got our losers bracket as well, which we will be getting underway as well. Teams are going to have to go the entire distance. I believe that we're going to have the winners finals, the losers finals, and the grand finals for you guys to watch tomorrow. And we'll be starting tomorrow at, I believe, around 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Eastern. Some more awesome games, some more great games on the cards. Northwood moving on to the winners finals, and we'll see the results of the losers finals or the losers bracket tomorrow. Culmination as we've got the grand finals championship Sunday coming your way tomorrow afternoon. But with regards to that, I think that's going to do it for us in the booth right now. We do have to give a shout out to our sponsor who's been sponsoring this entire tournament so far, and that is ShopEsportsCertified.com. They're a new gaming gear destination exclusively for college and university students. They specialize in a wide assortment of PC gaming gear, headsets, mice, keyboards, and more. You can shop today's brands, including Razer, HyperX, and ROG, all at the best savings you can ask for. You can check them out at www.esportscertified.com.
Absolutely. Thank you very much to esportscertified.com sponsoring and helping out with this stream. And obviously, yeah, we've got some great stuff ready for you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be watching the bracket finals and the grand finals, and you won't want to miss that. So I think from me, I've been Twiggy. This has been Junior P Cubed. I think that's all from us. And thank you very much. Good night, everyone.